You're watching The American on ESPN. In the city of brotherly love, historic Philadelphia, our home today for this matchup in the American Conference with not just conference implications, but national ones. It's 24th ranked Tulane taking on Temple. The Owls already their best season since 2019, trying to become bowl eligible. Here's Tulane in a four-way tie atop the American Conference. South Florida with 2 losses, Memphis and numerous others with 3 that are mathematically not eliminated from the race yet. So a big 2 weeks coming up in the American. Alongside the former Notre Dame star Darius Walker, I'm Chucky Kemp. I don't know if there's a tighter conference race or a more meaningful one than the one we're witnessing in this conference right now.
I'm trying to think of when the last time this happened, where you had so much on the line, 2 weeks left in the season, because for Tulane, everything's at stake for them. You've got the American Conference Championship and also the college football playoff berth. So a lot on the line for them, but to add to insult to injury here, for Temple, they're trying to figure out how to get win number 6 so they can become bowl eligible. So today in this game, a lot on the line for both teams.
Best part for the folks in the conference offices, none of these teams play each other. So get the tiebreakers out and let's try and figure this out. The one thing we know, for Tulane, we have been told if they win out and they remain the top-ranked team in the CFP, they will host the American Conference Championship. That is what is on the line for them today as they take on Temple on the road to stay in the lead for that title race and potentially host in this mess of a 4-way tie. They need their young running backs to show up big time.
And both guys are going to be put on the line here. For Gordon, he's just a true freshman, but he's been the bell cow for them for most of the year. And McClure, we saw him have a big game last week. He's probably the most explosive out of those two. So both these young running backs are going to be tested today. On defense, Hamilton has to have a big game today. As a defensive end for the Roll Wave, he needs to come in and compete today. He's got to cause havoc in the backfield for them to have a good game.
On the other side for Temple, year 1 for Casey Keeler has gone better than anyone could have expected. They are a win away from bowl eligibility. It's going to be tough, though. Tulane this week, North Texas next week.
Yeah, a lot on the line for them over the next couple of weeks to try to get to bowl eligibility. But to do so, Peter Clark, their tight end, is going to have a big game. He's 6'6", 260 pounds with a big wingspan. Expect to see 88 all over the field with the football in his hands. And for the Owls on defense, Allen Hay, he's got to have a productive game on that interior defensive line. He's a big man, can cause a lot of havoc in the backfield. I'm looking forward to watching number 8 compete today.
Temple, of course, the home field advantage here at Lincoln Financial Field, but Tulane, since 2022, they've won 18 of their last 22 road games. 2 of those losses have come this year. The Owls will hope to add to that and spoil the fun for second-year head coach John Sumrall, whose name is on every single short list for all these job openings, but he's focused on this team right now.
And it's really hard to imagine for Sumrall. This is just year 4 for him as a head football coach. So to go from Troy to come to Tulane and to have so much success so fast, it's really incredible to see what he's done over the past 4 years in his career and for his name to be mentioned in all these coaching races across the country.
Casey Keeler hired on December 1st after 11 years at Sam Houston. He started his coaching career back in the 80s. He's been at 4 schools. Everywhere he's gone, he's spent at least a decade there. He says this is it for him. This is his last job. He wants to take Temple back to where they've been in the past.
How many times have we seen coaches spend 10 years at places? It just doesn't happen. So for him to do that at 2 different places, I think that's going to bode well for Temple because they need consistency and leadership at the helm, especially on this football team.
Tulane won the toss. They deferred. Temple will get the football first. This is into the end zone for a touchback. The Owls with significant offensive improvements in their first-year head offensive coordinator, Tyler Walker, came over from Montana State. Evan Simon, the starter a year ago. They brought in Giovanni McCoy to try and challenge him for that spot. Simon won the job. He has a 22-to-1 touchdown-interception ratio.
And I'm keep looking at his interceptions, and just to say, only 1 at this point in the season. Again, we're in week 13, Chucky. He's only turned it over 1 time. Impressive start to the season, parlaying into this point for the quarterback.
First drive starts from the 25-yard line. Simon rolling to his right with time and hits it short to Kajaya Holloway. Started his college career at UCLA as a quarterback, quickly switched to wide receiver.
And he's got some wiggle to him as well. He's big, tall, and physical. Those 50-50 balls, he wins the majority of those using that length and that size. But a nice start right now for the Owls with a good first down production.
2nd and 6. Jay Ducker gets the ball for the first time and runs through an arm tackle to push his way close to a first down. They'll mark him a yard shy. Ducker, their leading rusher, came with Keeler from Sam Houston.
He is a big-time back. They call him an old Cadillac because of how physical he is. But that time on that defensive line, Harvey Dyson, number 5, he's at that bandit position, the edge position for Tulane on defense. You have to make that play in the backfield. For the Green Wave to have success defensively, they're going to have to be able to tackle.
3rd and 1 for Temple to keep this first drive going. A team that is 5-5. They have 2 losses by just 1 point. Casey Keeler said we're those 2 games away from being in the conversation in the conference. A flag on the play as Ducker has the first down easily, but we'll see which way this goes.
Illegal motion. Offense number 11. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
They got Holloway on that. Now this offense predicates themselves on shifts. They shift to position to try to put the defense in a specific situation, and then they use motion. So don't be surprised to see guys shift out of position and then still have a motion man. Holloway getting caught there, moving while headed towards the play.
That was a 3rd down conversion, something Temple has not done overly well this year, just 38%. That ranks 11th in the conference. Now it's 3rd and 6.
We talk about those 50-50 balls. Holloway's at the bottom of the screen coming in motion. He's number 11.
He's looking that way. Simon flushed out of the pocket now, directing traffic. Hit as he throws, incomplete. Tracked down on the play by Trayvon McAlpine.
This is why coaches hate those penalties on 3rd down situations. They were in 3rd and short. They get the penalty to put themselves in 3rd and 5. And Tulane just peels their ears back and brings the blitz to help get themselves off the field.
Dante Atten, the punter for Temple, with Omari Hayes deep to return. Atten line drive punt is fair caught at about the 27-yard line, where we will see Tulane's offense for the first time. It's been a unit, Darius, and really a team that's kind of been up and down, haven't necessarily had the prettiest looking wins, but that first half against Memphis, Jake Retzloff and this offense were rolling.
And I think that's one of the things that when you look at this offense with Jake Retzloff, you look across the American Conference, outside of Drew Mestermaker, I think that Retzloff is probably one of the ones that most defensive coordinators across the American would not want to play against. He's a great passer, but also his ability as a runner just stresses the defense.
The true freshman Gordon is in the backfield, and he gets the carry, tripped up just beyond the 30-yard line for a short pickup. Might have got 4 actually on first down.
Now this offensive line for Tulane is one of the best in the American. Reese Baker, that right tackle, number 78, did a good job blocking and protecting on that. But I love what they have up front with this unit.
Tied for 7th in the nation with just 9 sacks allowed this year. Play action, deep shot is caught, and it's gonna go the distance. Shaz Preston on the board for Tulane. Another big one for Shaz Preston.
And the thing about this offense, Chucky, is when you can run the football well, when you're used to running the football, the defense is not ready for it. So an incredible job on the play fake there from Retzloff to pull the safety up. That allowed Preston to get behind Castleberry to catch that football to take it into the end zone.
Durkin on for the extra point. It's up and it's good, and what a start for the Green Wave, jumping out to a 7-0 lead over Temple.
You have to love this if you're Tulane. Big time play out to Shaz Preston to be able to score this touchdown to take the lead. The Green Wave, they're in motion. Can they play some defense when we come back? We'll see.
Philadelphia. Tulane takes an early lead over Temple, 7-0 in a very meaningful game. First time in the historic city for me. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, so far so good. You had some Philly cheesesteak.
I did. I'm already done that. Shaz Preston has already found the end zone less than 3 minutes into this game on the big play by him from Jake Retzloff.
Can we grade it out, the Philly cheesesteak you had? What do you think? 1 out of 10?
I'm going to say 8.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'd like
good.
to try
Positive.
more, but I'm not going to get the opportunity to, unfortunately.
Are you an onions guy? Do the onions have to be on the Philly?
They told me do fried onions, so I did it how they told me to do it. Kick is away and into the end zone for another touchback. Let's take a look at today's impact players, brought to you by Freestyle Libre.
Well, Chucky, there's a lot of guys on this field that are going to make a difference, but a couple guys just to highlight here for both sides of this teams. So for Tulane, Hollifield is the center. He's the guy that makes them go on the offensive line, and then Dyson on the defensive line. He's an incredible run stopper for them. And then for Tulane, we talked a little bit about Peter Clark, his ability at the tight end. Hurley as well at linebacker. He leads them in tackles. You will see 33 all over the field for the Owls.
Peter Clark is a matchup nightmare. 6'6", 265-pound junior from London, England. There's Dyson you see on that defensive line, the Texas Tech transfer. Temple trying to respond. Simon gets it out, and this is trouble. And they're going to lose about 5 yards on the play. Swinging it out to JoJo Bermudez, who they want to get the football to. That's great defense.
Well, watch Sam Howard here, though, at 15. He's going to blow up Colin Chase, number 1, to the left of this screen. Colin's trying to block Sam Howard, but Sam Howard says, no, no, sir. I'm getting into this backfield. That's what you have to do. If you're a linebacker going against a wide receiver, he should have no chance. Excellent play from the backer there from Howard.
That's good news for Tulane. Sam Howard back in, missed the FAU game a week ago, missed a couple in October as well. Simon rolling out, and they hit one in the flats, just shy of a first down to another one of his tight ends, Jake Woods, the only tight end that's from the States.
Woods does a nice job coming across this formation. This is what Temple wants to do. They want to make sure that these tight ends are involved in the passing game. Nice job just leaking out the backside of that formation, picking up some positive yards. Now, we saw the Owls in this same position hurt themselves the last series with a penalty. Can they keep it going here on 3rd down to try to pick it up?
Tulane has just loaded the box. Handoff to Ducker, bounces it out a little bit and gets 2 yards to move the chains.
Nice job getting behind Peter Clark there, number 88, the tight end. And Ducker has been the bell cow for them on offense. Now we'll also see Kavion Mason, 26. He's a younger back, a little bit more explosive, more of a home run hitter. But you can't take away what Jay Ducker has done this season. He's a mature player and a great teammate, real good with the body control. It's a solid back.
You said it earlier, they call him an old Cadillac, but said he still wants to be coached, even as a longtime veteran. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Simon on the design quarterback run just ducks his head, and that is a painful 1 yard for the quarterback to get.
We've talked about Simon and his ability to protect the football. This is one of those situations where they're trying to add a wrinkle here for Simon and for this defense to give him a chance to be productive, trying to catch the defense off guard. But with how good this defensive line is for Tulane, that's one of those plays I would just scrap and say, this is not something we should put our quarterback in harm's way.
It's Jordan Norman making the stop along with Armandus Cooley. In a problem in the middle of that. 2nd and 9, handoff to Ducker, and again, not much doing. They'll get about 2.5 yards on the play. Sam Howard in on the stop again.
One of the guys up front I love for Temple is Eric King, number 52. He's the guard. He does an incredible job with his hands. One of the best blockers they have up front, and he's really been growing and developing as a starter.
3rd and 6.
In these 3rd down situations, Chucky, you got to find Peter Clark if you're Tulane on defense. He's number 88 towards the bottom of the screen. He's he's the 3rd guy.
On a crossing pattern this time, Simon trying to make his way in the pocket. Simon taking off, and he's pushed out of bounds, shy of a first down. That's Chris Rogers, who has played a lot more this season due to the injury to Dixon Agu.
That's just an incredible job from Rogers there, because if he's not there to make that play, Simon's going to pick up that first down. So a heads-up play from 4 He's playing in the middle of that defense, keeping his eyes on the quarterback. Nice athletic move to get outside to force a 4th down. It's quite something for Chris Rogers this season to get thrown in the action. We saw Dixon Agu go down in that Tulsa game. Chris Rogers has not missed a beat since being inserted into this defense.
Again, a line drive kick by Atten, fielded at the 16, and that's where Tulane will take over their second possession. First one was a long ball to Shaz Preston. That's why they're up 7-0. Well, this is not Philadelphia. That is the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, the home of our Monday Night Football matchup. Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers hosting Rico Dowdle and the Panthers, 8 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Coverage kicks off with NFL Live at 3 Eastern, then SVP and the Monday Night Countdown crew at 6 Eastern. How about Bryce Young in the win over the Falcons last week? 448, that's a franchise record.
I mean, just a tremendous performance, but if you look back just a year ago, the amount of flack that Bryce Young got at the quarterback position with a new offensive coordinator, new head coach coming in now, like, what a difference a year makes.
You're telling me continuity matters to a young quarterback.
Without a doubt.
1st and 10 for Tulane. They go to the ground this time with Gordon, who is driven off to the side. That is strong running from the young running back.
Now remember, Gordon is the true freshman here, going up against Javier Morton, number 15. But watch the strength from the young back here. He's going up against a 5th-year senior. I mean, that's just impressive running. Yes, it's just a 4-yard play, but still, we're talking about a guy who was playing high school football a year ago.
Biggest adjustment, high school to college running.
It's the speed and the strength. It really is. Those are two things. Clearly, Gordon's been hitting leg day.
Handoff going left side. Quickly to one of their wide receivers, this time Anthony Brown-Stevens. They like to get him the football, at least 3 catches in the last 5 weeks. That's their offensive coordinator in his 2nd year, Joe Craddock. A guy who is tons of praise for John Sumrall, said they've grown so much as friends and brothers. Craddock, once upon a time, the youngest OC in the country.
I was just going to say, like, his career also, one has just kind of been catapulted here recently with his ability. But what a job he has done. You have to remember for Jake Resloff, not only is this his first year, but he's still having to compete with a lot of new faces.
Retzloff, they want to take a shot again. Brown-Stevens, it is incomplete, almost intercepted by Jalen Castleberry that time. He got burnt earlier, not this time.
Well, this is a bad throw. That's where this comes down to for Reslov. It's just an errant throw by him. He gets this behind Brown-Stevens, which allows Castleberry to be able to catch up. This ball has to keep floating to the right of the screen because he's got him beat one-on-one, but because that ball is behind, Castleberry is able to catch up and almost pick that football off.
Almost adding to a turnover margin that is at plus 11 this season. Omari Hayes in motion, handoff to McClure up the middle, who bangs into the defensive line and falls forward for a pickup of about 3.
Now, one of the ways that Jake Reslov really stresses the defense is as a runner. And I have to think that at some point his number is going to be called as a QB draw or something that gives him a run-pass option as a runner, because he is dynamic with the football in his hands.
Tulane converts on 44% of their third down chances. This is 3rd and 7. Hayes in motion. Retzloff with time, throwing over the middle and caught near midfield. It's Carl Lewis that time to move the change on a picture-perfect throw.
And what an incredible job by this offensive line of giving Reslov the time. I thought he might be going to Omari Hayes, number 1, streaking across the middle as the second level, but he gets behind Hayes. To Brown-Stevens. And Gordon does a nice job to pick up a few yards there. But that just shows you with Jake Reslov, when you give him time, he can pick you apart. I think for the Owls on defense, they're going to have to figure out how to start to rush the throws for Jake Reslov. They've got to start to dial up some pressure from the linebacker position. The way they do that is with Caden Supernat, number 18. He's the Mike backer. Could be a guy to apply some pressure.
2nd and 10. Handoff McClure, getting outside. McClure down the sideline and lowers the shoulder after the first down pickup. That's somebody who Joe Craddock said reminds him a little of Jamal Charles. That's a pretty good comparison.
Yeah, not a bad one at all. He shows you he's got some wheels on the outside. 94 yards last week against FAU. He's the home run hitter. The tough thing sometimes with just young freshman running back and guys who haven't played a whole lot is the pass pro. So that's what I'm going to be watching for both of these young backs as the game progresses. Can they be helpful in the passing game?
The 94 yards a week ago were a career best for McClure as he charges ahead for 2 yards. That was a question mark for them coming into the season as well, because Mekhi Hughes, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, he transferred to Oregon. So it's fallen on these young running backs late in the season to carry the load.
And you're asking these guys to grow up really fast. Now, you mentioned it being late in the season. That's where things start to show up. Are you taking care of your body? It's a veteran thing to do, to understand getting sleep and recovery. All that plays out as the season progresses.
That's what Joe Craddock, their offensive coordinator, stressed with us. That's the most important thing they try and get across to these young players. Retzloff play action, again over the middle, just a little bit high for Lewis that time. Pooh Lawton was in coverage. It's going to be 3rd down.
Chucky, this is one Lewis has got to come down with. I mean, he did an incredible job with the route. Watch him stick the route at the top of this, going to plant his foot in the ground and get up to the post area. That ball hits him in both hands. Yes, it's a little high, but you got to help your quarterback there. Now, we talked a little bit about the pressure for the Owls, wanting to see if they could bring it. 3rd down right now is a wonderful spot to apply some pressure for them on defense. We'll see if they dial it up.
They brought 1 extra rusher on the last 3rd down, but Tulane picked it up. They bring just 4 this time. Retzloff, plenty of time, and got it completed. No! Out of the hands of Jimmy Callaway, who's seen his play time go up a little bit. That's back-to-back, though maybe Tulane should have caught.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Callaway, too. He had his first touchdown catch a week ago, but he's in prime position to catch this. The problem is the technique. He allows the ball to get to his body. Instead of using his hands to try to catch it, he's trying to catch it with his chest. If you talk to any wide receiver coach, they will always tell you if that ball is above the waist, you got to use your hands instead of your chest, because sometimes that ball can bounce off.
Big kick here for Patrick Durkin. He's 15 of 16 on the season. This would match his season long of 50. Durkin, a great line, and has the distance. Good from 50 to make it a 10-point lead for the Green Wave. He has been a weapon, the best kicker in the American Conference, arguably one of the best in the country this season, and that has Tulane up 10-0.
He's been fantastic. Green Wave continuing to roll. They're up 10-0.
Stern on ABC and the all-new ESPN app. The final game of the triple header over on ABC. Number 20, Tennessee takes on Florida in the Swamp. Season for the Florida Gators, and then Joey Aguilar coming in, and he's done some pretty big things. Leads the SEC almost 300 yards per game.
And there's a lot of good quarterback play coming out of the SEC. So these numbers have always been terrific. What I love about him is he takes care of the football, goes through those progressions so smoothly. He's having a heck of a year.
Tennessee on a rough streak on the road in the Swamp, trying to snap that as this is into the end zone for a touchback. Temple will get the football for the third time. You know, one of the big things in this game today will be the special teams for both teams. But for Tulane, you look at what they've got, the best kicker in the league in Patrick Durkin, the best punter in the league in Alec Clark, averaging 47. I mean, you know how close it is down the stretch in the season. These guys are going to be big.
And look, I mean, the kicking game isn't the sexiest stuff, but if you're a complete football team, you have to be good in this area. And that's one of the things that when you look at teams ranked in the top 25, those vying for college football spots and conference berths, a lot of them depend on special teams to win close games. So Tulane got a couple good ones.
Felt like even though they settled for a field goal, being a 50-yarder helped the momentum continue. Here's the big man, Peter Clark, and they drag him down at the 47. That's the biggest play in the game of 22 yards for the Owls.
What an incredible job from Evan Simon here, using his eyes to move Mekhi Williams. Number 42, the backer, is supposed to be on Clark, but he uses his eyes, the quarterback uses his eyes to move him to the other side to create that space for Peter Clark to pick up the first down.
That's Clark in motion, set up on the left side of that offensive line. They're going to go to the ground here on first down. They'll cross midfield to the 48-yard line. Decent pickup on first down by Hunter Smith, tackled by McAlpine.
This is one of the things that Temple's really going to have to figure out, is how to continue to run the football, control the clock in this game, to put together methodical drives to drive the ball down the field.
Casey Keeler been doing it a long time, and all he has done is win. 2nd and 5. Again, Clark in motion. Simon throwing quickly to that side. They've got space and a first down. Somehow, Bermudez, I don't know if he tripped on himself or somebody got him over there.
He's definitely got to thank Colin Chase there, his wide receiver brethren. Watch number 1 to the left of the screen. He's the guy who's going to lay the key block to allow Bermudez to get up the field. And the turf monster gets another one. That happened to me on the way up into the booth. It's, you know, sometimes the leg and the hammy, it's a little bit of a pull.
That we have in common.
I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Not for you. Handoff to Smith again, and Smith carving through the Tulane defense for a big pickup for another first down to the 33. They are starting to establish that physicality you're talking about.
Watch Peter Clark here, 88, using that big size and frame, blocking on the edge of that to create the space in the middle. A fantastic job so far from the Owls. This offensive line is starting to produce. When you can run the football, it just opens up everything else. It allows you to take some shots in this space of the field as well.
4th first down for Temple. The offense starting to roll for them. 1st and 10 at the 33. That's Mason in motion. Simon throwing downfield. He's got his man inside the 10 to the 3-yard line. Colin Chase, one of their top targets, a redshirt junior from California.
This is one of those situations that Temple loves to use that motion to move the eyes of the secondary. Nice double move there from the quarterback to just bait that secondary to create a little bit more space for Chase to catch the football. He got held a little bit on that play as well. Nice job concentrating at the point of attack to catch that football and bring it in.
Now where will they go? 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
They got Jay Ducker back in the game. We saw Hunter Smith a couple of times, but now they put Jay Ducker, who's their bell cow, the old Cadillac, number 20. He's in the backfield.
Simon gonna throw it, and he just grounds it near the feet of Ducker.
That's one of those situations where you want your running back to just take the pressure off. So Harvey Dyson, number 5, came unblocked in the middle of the offensive line. Instead of Jay Ducker picking that up, he kind of leaked out on a route. It just negates everything on that play. Sometimes even when it's not your responsibility as a running back, you still got to try to help out in situations, especially dangerous situations like that.
2nd and goal after the quick incompletion from Simon. Ducker still the back. Handoff Ducker up the middle. He is met head on and driven backwards. McAlpine making another stop.
McAlpine, incredible job in the middle of that defense. He's 300 pounds. He's the most athletic of these defensive linemen there. It's really grown as a player, but no give. He's not pushed in either direction, and that's what you want to try to do if you're an interior defensive lineman, especially on the goal line. Just not get moved. You want to be an impenetrable force in your spot. Nice job by the D-line of forcing a 3rd down.
Their longest drive so far by plays and yards, but can they punch it in for 7 on 3rd and goal? Simon throwing, corner of the end zone toward the big man. He pulls it in. Peter Clark, 6'6", 265. Good luck.
What an animal Peter Clark is. The strength and the ability of this guy, using every bit of it. Watch Jaheim Johnson, number 20 here. He's in position, Chucky. He's there to try to stop this play, but just he's going up against a massive human being who uses his strength almost like he's getting a rebound off the backboard to snatch that football out of the air for the touchdown.
I want to see you one-on-one with Peter Clark in coverage.
I mean, I don't know why we want to see that.
Carl Harden on for the extra point. redshirt sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina, to make this a 3-point game. It is up and it is good. A big response from Temple, and they go to the big man, Peter Clark.
No doubt. Now again, look at Jaheim Johnson here. He's 6 foot going up against Peter Clark, who is 6'6", almost 6'7". So it's just a jumping match. It's who can get this football at its highest point. What an incredible job with the concentration there by Clark to bring this football in, because Jaheim Johnson was in position. So when you're going up against a bigger guy like that, good luck.
A well-earned flex from Peter Clark on the sideline. The London native came out of the NFL Academy over there. Just turned 22 years old on Wednesday.
Also celebrating an engagement as well, so congratulations there. I feel like, you know, with NIL and all this other stuff, I think we might see more of that. Guys saying, you know what, I'm going to invest in my relationship.
Okay. I like that.
You know.
I always knew you were a big softie.
You know, hey man, warms my heart every time. Love, it's all about love.
Harden to send this deep. And is fielded at the 4-yard line. Down the right side, upended just shy of the 25. That's where Tulane will take over. Nice hit by Lang, one of the safeties for Temple.
Excellent job on the kicking coverage there. Lane making a difference. Talked about how important the kicking game is in these close matchups. When you look at Tulane, Chucky, Resloff is 2 of 5, 91 yards, and that long 1-touchdown play. They haven't given him a whole bunch of opportunities as a runner either. The way he stresses the defense is by using his legs to his ability to be able to pick up positive yards. You have to think they may start to go to some of that here on this series.
22 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Retzlaff, quick throw this time, and another drop pass. He was looking for Trey Shackelford. That's the 3rd drop we've seen in the last 2 drives for the Green Wave.
That ball hits him directly in his hands. Denzel Chavez, number 13, had a big split with a big cushion there. It was an easy 6 to 7 yard play. If Shackelford can bring it in.
Second and 10, Brown-Stevens in motion. Retzlaff hands off, flag on the play, and they'll get close to 6 yards, but this one might be coming back.
Illegal formation. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's unfortunate for Tulane there because they got good push up front from the center and Jack Hollifield. Negated with the formation there. And it just kind of feels like for Tulane at this stage offensively, outside of that first series, it's kind of been a little stagnant. Not a whole lot of life, not a whole lot of energy, guys dropping passes. I think the end of this first quarter might do good for Tulane to give themselves to come together collectively to figure out what's going on.
Tulane looking for win number 9 on the season. Meanwhile, East Carolina trails UTSA 21-0. There's a lot of action in college football that matters to this team that is leading to Temple on the road 10-7 at the end of 1. 10-7, big news for Tulane today without their #1 receiver, Bryce Bohannon, ruled out for this game. He was injured in practice earlier this week. You see the numbers, Darius, one of their top receivers in yards and catches. And John Summerall, this whole staff, everyone you talk to at Tulane loves him, says he's an elite leader, and they'll be playing for him today.
What a loss for them offensively.
We've seen the drops from this team. That is a catch for a first down conversion on 2nd and 15. It's Garrett Mamahat who is filling in partially, has only played 1 game this year, but they like his athleticism.
And they're excited to have Mamahat back because he's dealt with some injuries this season. They've been waiting to get him back. He does a nice job of coming across the middle of the field and catching that football, securing it for the first down. But when you lose a guy like Bryce Bohannon, it just changes things at the wide receiver room. That leadership, those intangibles, they really miss those here today so far.
Another notable addition to this offense is Maurice Turner in the backfield, who has not played since October 30th. Turner on the carry, ducks ahead to the 35-yard line. He's the Louisville transfer, Darius, that they thought was going to be their guy this year.
Yeah, another one of those guys who has just dealt with injuries this season. They've been trying to figure out how to get him more time and to get him back. They're excited to certainly have him back. And that's been the story for Tulane in the running back room. It's been by committee. We've seen Gordon, we'll see McClure. We've also seen Mobley and Barnes too. So the Green Wave needing a bell cow really to step up in the backfield.
2nd and 9, it's Javen Gordon in the backfield this time. Play action, pressure on Retzloff, gets it out quickly, and a great open field tackle by Avery Powell, the redshirt junior corner. That's 170 pounds coming down to tackle Justin Reed at 255 pounds.
And he comes down and makes a play, but Tyrese Whittaker, number 35, to rush in, was the first guy to get to Retzloff to force his football out, but an excellent job in space by Powell to get a big guy down, grabbing those legs, textbook. Love to see that. Big 3rd down here, though, for the Green Wave.
3rd and 8. Converted on 2nd and 15 just a few plays ago. Retzloff, time, dumps it short. Yardage needed here, though, after the catch, and they're not going to get quite enough. A yard shy of the first down. Ball came out late. Now a decision here for Tulane on their own side of the 50.
And that's one of the places where they miss Bryce Bohannon the most, is his ability to catch the football and to make guys miss. Preston does a good job of coming across the field, but just struggled to make the guy miss at the 2nd level. That's where you see the miss of Bohannon there. But it brings up a 4th down situation. Remember, Retzloff is one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the American Conference. I wouldn't be surprised for him to try to keep the football on the ground as we take a look at Brian Smith, the Temple defensive coordinator.
Reed in motion right behind Retzloff, and there's movement up front. They were going to try it in the home of the tush push. They were going to run it here at Lincoln Financial Field.
Full start. Offense number 50. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
It's not as easy as it looks, Darius. Jalen Hurts out there right now.
There's a lot on the line there, too, but you see the left side of this offensive line. They got multiple guys moving on that edge. Anthony Miller was the first one at the tight end spot. And that's just what we've kind of seen since the first series for Tulane, at least offensively. Hurting themselves, a little lackadaisical with how they're going about play with the drop passes. They need to find some rhythm in a hurry.
High punt down to the 15-yard line where it's fair caught by Bermudez. So Temple back in possession, long field ahead, but a chance to go down and tie or take the lead. Let's take a look around the CFP landscape as we count down to the CFP National Championship, brought to you by AT&T. This is the chance for these teams to reach the American Championship according to ESPN Analytics. North Texas and Tulane up top. We're going to get a little clarity if East Carolina doesn't figure it out at UTSA. They're down 28-0 right now.
It really just kind of goes to show you, though, that the parity in the American Conference, anybody can beat anybody. It feels a little bit like the MAC to me, where it's not top-heavy like some of the other divisions and conferences across the country. A lot of parity in the American.
Hand off to Kevion Mason, a true freshman running back that they really like. Feel like they found a gem in Mason, who gets almost 6 yards on first down. An exciting young back, though.
Yeah, he's one of these guys who his role is going to continue to grow in this offense as he continues to learn the offense and understand his position. But a big pickup on first down there from Mason. He's got a lot of traits that the other backs don't, which is the home run ability, the ability to make a guy miss in a tight space. I think Mason has all of that. So as he continues to grow and develop, he may have a bright future in Philadelphia.
84 of his 135 yards have come in the last 2 weeks. Little reverse here for Colin Chase, trying to stretch it out wide, and he's thrown down behind the line of scrimmage. TJ Smith got to him, one of the defensive backs.
That's a nice job by Smith coming downfield and making a play, but Jordan Norman, the defensive end, number 9, he's the guy on the edge who stretches this play out. You'll see him to the left of the screen, not fooled by the action. Good job of stringing that thing out so the cavalry can come in and make a play. Now these third down situations here for the Owl, they've been targeting Peter Clark. He's going to be in the slot towards the bottom of the screen, number 88. He's got the second position and the big body. That'd be a good time to throw it up for him.
Simon, pressure coming. Simon hit and dropped. Sam Howard got there first. There were white jerseys everywhere.
I mean, the cavalry came. You got Sam Howard, you got Jabari Garner, number 48 as well. Look at all these white jerseys in Simon's face. Nowhere to go with the football. They won at the point of the attack. Late delay blitz, too, from Chris Rogers there, number 4. We were wondering when Tulane was going to start to dial up the blitz to add some pressure. Excellent call defensively.
So Atten stands about 6 yards deep in his own end zone. Tulane coming after it. He does get it away. This is going to be fantastic field position as Hayes Fair catches it at the 46-yard line. Tulane leading Temple 10-7 here in Philly. Well, this past weekend, the American Conference lost longtime Assistant Commissioner of Communications Chuck Sullivan, who had worked for the conference office since 2007. Over a 25-year career spanning all 3 divisions of the NCAA, Chuck was one of the most well-respected communications professionals in collegiate athletics. He was a tireless ambassador for the American student athletes and teams and made a positive impact on everyone he worked with. Chuck was the consummate colleague, friend, supervisor, and mentor, but was more importantly an even better husband, father, brother, and son. For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate. What is at stake? A lot is at stake, Darius. Tulane trying to stay in contention to not just be in the conference championship, but host the conference championship. Temple on the other side trying to become bowl eligible for the first time since 2019. I mentioned ECU right now down 28. UTSA has the football too with 7 to go in the first half there. James Madison outside of the American survived against Washington State today.
Yeah, they sure did. They got lucky there towards the end of that game, won 24-20 over the Cougars. So much coming down to the wire here on this season. Makes it exciting for us, but stressful for everyone else on the field.
Retzloff hands off on first down. One of the better runs of the day. Again, it's Jamari McClure. You can tell he's got that home run ability.
He sure does. He's got a little wiggle to him, especially when the guys can move bodies up front. Derek Graham, the left tackle that time, number 76, did a good job of moving his body around to create some space for McClure to get up the field. And at this point, the options are completely open for the playbook when you have such a good run on first down.
McClure's got 4 carries for 27 yards. Retzloff is 5 of 9 for $114 and a touchdown. It was on a 75-yarder. This is going to be a double pass, but they're in trouble in the backfield. Jimmy Callaway trying to escape pressure. He needs to throw the football away, and he does. It was almost caught near the sideline by Pascuzzi. They ran a similar play, Darius, a couple weeks ago against UTSA. Jimmy Callaway threw a 42-yard touchdown.
Holding. Defense number 39. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, he wanted to go to Justin Reed, number 88, the tight end, down the field.
I think he knew Pascuzzi was there, or was he throwing that ball away? Because he almost completed it.
I hope he was throwing that away. We were yelling that from up here for him to get rid of that football. We'll see if we can't take a look, if we have a shot of the hole or not. Lucky break for the Green Wave.
Callaway can throw it because that touchdown pass he threw against UTSA was a dime. Here's McClure. Almost looked like he tripped up as he got to the edge. He'll have 2 yards on first down to the 25.
Well, we see for the Green Wave the commitment to running the football on these early downs. It's been a recipe of success for them throughout the season. Turning over some positive results for them here again on this series of keeping themselves ahead of the chains. Now, I mentioned this at the top with just the ability of Jake Retzloff as a runner. You can't miss that if you're the Owls on defense, because number 12 can hurt you when he tucks it and runs.
He's actually their leading rusher entering this game with 557 yards, 11 touchdowns. Quick throw out wide to make it about 3rd and 5, but Temple rallying to the football really well.
Excellent job from Ben Osweke. Number 24 as well coming into play. Retzloff does a good job of getting the football out quickly. All those red jerseys around, including Charles Calhoun, who rotates in at that end position. He comes in for Cameron Stewart. I like what 45 does as well up front.
Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 5 for Tulane. That's Pascuzzi that just motioned in tight. Handoff to McClure, dances around, and McClure has a first down. Really impressive running to the 15-yard line, tackled by Jameer Jones. McClure adds another nice run to his resume.
And excellent running behind Jack Holyfield, the center there. Nice little jump cut to the outside and then sticks that foot in the ground to get up the field quickly. Just a redshirt freshman, still a young player figuring it out, but shows you that he's got that tremendous upside with the football in his hands.
McClure comes to the sideline. Javen Gordon is the running back, but he's now in the slot to the right of Retzloff. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Retzloff looking left, looking end zone, and incomplete. There are flags that come in late. Shackelford was the intended target. Castleberry was in coverage. Temple thought this might have been against Shackelford, but I don't think they're going to get their wish.
Pass interference. Defense number 19. Ball we placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
And I feel for Castleberry on this one because he got his head around to look where the football was, and that's why I thought they'd let it go, because he turned around to look. It's an incredible job of being in position there. I think that call could go either way. He has a right to go towards the football. An excellent job in coverage there from Castleberry. And again, if he hadn't turned, I would understand how it would have been a blatant call, but he turned that head. But as it stands, the wind blows for Tulane on that one.
Javen Gordon the back, 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. Play action, Retzloff running, looking for his 12th of the season, and he's got it just inside the pylon. Jake Retzloff has another rushing touchdown to make it 16-7.
Well, we were wondering, Chucky, when they were going to make that call to let Retzloff make a difference. Watch the running back here, though, Javen Gordon, 23. He's the guy who makes the kick-out block on that side. You got a true freshman out there trying to block for his quarterback to give him some space. You love to see it. With the Green Wave extending that lead, big-time response from this offense.
All smiles over there from John Sumrall after that drive. They got great field position. The extra point is good, and Tulane leads by 10.
Well, we've talked about the passing ability for Retzloff. He's got 117 yards as a passer, but his number gets called this time as a runner. Picks up the touchdown to extend the lead for Tulane. The Owls need some life. Can they fly? Let's see when we come back.
Tulane faithful traveling all the way from New Orleans and beyond. 17-7, the Green Wave heard their name called in the CFP rankings earlier this week. They came in at number 24. 2 wins, Darius, and remain the top-ranked team in the CFP. They will host the American Conference Championship.
They have looked good, especially those non-conference wins. That's one of the things that in the American, when you look around, like of impressive wins, they just did a good job on the road in a couple of those games, in those non-conference games against Northwestern. Duke as well had the big win against Duke. Nice job so far from John Summerall and company.
Durkin sends it deep into the end zone for a touchback. Temple getting the football again, needing some points here later in this first half. And Simon set to lead the charge. They've only ran the football for 20 yards, 76 passing yards. We've seen him look really good throwing the football, but have not sustained more than that one drive.
And I think it's because they just keep getting away from the running game. Yes, they only have 20 yards, but they've just got to keep it on the ground. Sometimes what can happen in these games is you want to press because you're down a couple of scores, but pressing can help in some instances, but driving the ball down the field is really the way to go. I think they need to recommit themselves to the run here, son.
Simon play action looking down the sideline. Deep ball is over the head of Colin Chase.
And Isaiah Shine that time, what an incredible job with his hands. So take a look at the offensive coordinator, Tyler Walker, for the Owls. Again, coming in from Montana State. What a terrific career he has had as a signal caller. One of the things he said he pressed for, which Coach Keeler was open to, was full autonomy. His offense, his design, his play calling on display here today.
He's able to bring some of his staff with him from Montana State, including their offensive line coach, Al Johnson, who he praised for making a huge impact with this O-line that has had so much growth since the beginning of spring practice. Tyler Walker led the best FCS offense a year ago at Montana State, trying to implement that here at Temple in year one. What's really interesting, Darius, about this team, they won 3 games last year. A lot of those same guys are the guys making the biggest impact for Temple this year.
No doubt, it shows you what a change in leadership can do.
3rd and 8, Temple need to find a big conversion here. Simon has time, but everyone downfield is covered. And no one giving him an option, really. Throws it away to bring up 4th down. They thought Simon got hit late on the play. He's not happy about it, neither is their sideline.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that wasn't called as well. But a nice job by Tulane on defense. They only rushed 3, so they're dropping 8 guys in coverage. All kind of white jerseys around everywhere. Nowhere for Simon to go with the football. Looks like he takes a shot towards the end of this play. Just with how things are typically with quarterbacks, you typically see a guy take a push to the ground and not get a flag there.
Hatton, the rugby style kick, hangs in the air long enough to force the fair catch back at the 30-yard line by Omari Hayes. Tulane could make a big statement right here, Darius. 5:39 to play in the first half. It's a big drive.
For them, yeah, this is a big drive, especially with keeping your foot on the gas as far as it relates to this game. They're also going to get the football in the second half in that 3rd quarter. So this drive right here, if they could take up some time, keep it on the ground. Got Arnold Barnes, looks like, in the backfield there. Number 20 to try to get some love, but I would love a methodical drive here from Tulane to keep their foot on the gas in this football game.
They have the good field position to set up their 2nd touchdown. They had the 75-yard touchdown pass from Retzloff to Preston on their opening drive. They get about 4 on 1st down there with Barnes.
And Barnes, they call him a bit of a bowling ball. So when he gets going at 5'10", 216 pounds, he's hard to stop in short yardage situations. So when he's in the game, you have to think they're going to feature this running game to try to milk this clock a bit.
Hayes in motion, Retzloff flushed out of the pocket, flips to Hayes, but nowhere to go. Tackled behind the line. It'll be a loss of 2 yards, it looks like. Back to the 31, tackled by Lewis Fry.
So just a little bit surprising on the play calling there that we're seeing from the Green Wave offensively. In this moment and in this situation, you want to exert your dominance. Win the line of scrimmage, put the pressure, understanding that the Owls are feeling it a little bit. They're a little bit on their heels. You got to run the football and dial it up. So I don't love the play calling right now for the Green Wave offensively at this point in the game.
3rd and 8. Can Temple get the ball back to their offense? Pressure! Retzloff goes down! Cameron Stewart, their leading pass rusher, gets there.
And they put themselves in this problem for a 3rd down situation where now the defense just peels their ears back. Stewart's working against Reese Baker here, 78, just beats him off the line. An incredible individual effort there with that swim move around the outside to get to the quarterback.
Just the 10th sack allowed by this Tulane offensive line on the season, and Temple's going to get the football back with plenty of time on the clock. This is a good punt by Clark that backs the Owls up to the 20-yard line.
And that's the thing with the clock here, Chucky. So I go back to the play call selection. When you dial up passes in that moment, there's just no time that came off the clock. Cameron Stewart, 4 sacks this season, make it 5 now after that one. Terrific job up front.
On senior day, trying to go out with a win, trying to get this program back to bowl eligible for the first time since 2019. Evan Simon, Darius, 6 of 10, 76 yards. He's looked pretty good throwing the football.
He most certainly has. He's been good with his decision making too, hasn't hurt them. Just got to get some productivity and get some consistency on the offensive side.
Flag thrown. Tulane was calling for it earlier on the play and didn't get it.
Full start. Offense number 11. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Get Holloway on the outside there. Again, you have to remember this offense, Chucky. One of the things they do almost every play is shift into position. So they'll come to line in a formation and then shift into another position and then bring a guy in motion. That time Holloway got caught moving when he wasn't supposed to. But that has been the recipe of success for the Owls on offense.
Broke the huddle a little bit late there. They get set now with 10 on the clock. Simon, quick throw out wide. Some blocking, but cutting back inside is Bermudez, and there wasn't much doing out there. Tulane again rallying the football quickly. Tulane's coordinator, defensive coordinator Greg Gasparotto in his 2nd season. His defensive staff have done a really nice job with this Green Wave group. That was coach, but he's done an excellent job in year 2. Going back shoulder, there is contact there. This time Temple gets their wish, and that is going to be pass interference. The intended target was Chase. Jaheim Johnson was in coverage, and this is going to be a gift for the Owls.
Yeah, for Jaheim here, I'm not sure why he would be looking and scratching his head here because he was all over.
Pass interference. Defense number 20. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
All over Colin Chase here. And it's unfortunate because he really was in position. He didn't need to grab him towards the end of this play. He'd be towards the bottom of the screen here. But a lot of jersey tugging. He was pushing his body towards the out of bounds area too. A little too physical on the outside from the redshirt sophomore.
First and 10 Temple at the 30-yard line, 3:06 to play in this first half. Play action for Simon, clean pocket into the flats for Ducker. Lunges ahead close to the 34 to set up 2nd and 6.
Well, I like the call there from Temple on offense, trying to figure out how to get these running backs into the game, involved into the game, even as a passer.
Taylor Polk there, the co-defensive coordinator. Second and 6. Another play action, quick one outside to Holloway, incomplete. Seen the drops from Tulane, now this one from Holloway, and it's going to set up a tough 3rd down. Holloway's a little shaken up. He's going to have to jog off, which is interesting because this is a team in Temple that really throws it to 4 guys who all have at least 26 catches.
Yeah, they spread the football around pretty well. Outside of those 4 guys, no one else really catches it for this offense. So if Halloween is unable to go, that takes away a quarter of the productivity at the wide receiver position so far this season for the Owls.
One of the guys that came in is Ian Stewart at the top of the screen. Hasn't caught a ball since November 24th, 2023. He missed last year with injury. Down the sideline, back shoulder throw. Chase's foot was on the line, and it's incomplete. His left foot, Darius, when he tried to plant and go upfield, hit the sideline.
Oh, what a route from Colin Chase here. He plants his foot in the ground at the top of the route. An incredible job of coming back on that back shoulder. Oh, that left foot is what we're looking at there. The question is, was the ball in his hands before that left foot hit the ground? Oh, that's unfortunate, because that was a pretty move on the outside to get open.
Previous play of
an incomplete pass is
under further review.
It's an interesting one, because to your point, catches the football, right foot down.
Yeah.
Does he have control before the left foot hits out?
That's always the question in those instances. Did he have control of the football when the right foot hits the ground? Take another look at this here. I say he has it.
Oh no.
Looks like his legs were
already down.
Looks like that left foot was up and the right foot wasn't down yet. That was an incredible move on the outside from Chase. I think it looks like it's the left foot that's the first one down on that play. Looks like a nice job from that officiating crew.
Think about how in sync Evan Simon and Colin Chase were on that play, but Chase not quite in sync with the sideline. Enough for you, not enough?
I don't see enough to overturn the call. To me, it looks like that left foot was the first foot to hit the ground before the right foot does. I think on that shot, it's clearly out of bounds.
Unless you're saying the heel was in the air and he had contact and then put his heel on the sideline? You're getting real technical here, Darius.
I mean, it's just to make that call at this stage when the call on the field is he was out of bounds.
I thought you were an offensive guy.
I do lean that way for sure, but I'm also a fairness guy.
Yeah,
so.
you're that integrity piece with you. What was in the way? Man, see, that one's interesting right there.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld as this incomplete pass. Fourth down.
That would have been a tough one to overturn in terms of the call on the field. Excellent play, though, an attempt by Colin Chase there. Just needing to recognize where he is. Now, we've got an official on the ground. Not sure if he got run over by one of the special teams players coming in. He's slow to get up. I tell you, you got to watch yourself in the American, man. These teams, they don't mess around. Head on a swivel.
You've seen both of these teams now possess the football in the final 6 minutes of this half and have plenty of time to score.
Tulane takes their first charge time out of the half.
They'll get another
This is a
opportunity.
30-second timeout.
Tulane's 2 losses on the season, Darius, have both come on the road. One at Ole Miss, where they really didn't feel like they played well, and then at UTSA. John Summerall even going as far this week in his press conference when he was asked about if he thought his team was a top 25 team, said, we're average.
He was pretty direct with us in that same token as far as that conversation went. He said he's seen bright spots, but in total, they just seem average to him. And I think what he's trying to get at is just the consistency. We've seen the bright spots in all facets of their game. We've talked about how good they are in the kicking game with their punter and their kicker. Incredible there on the special team side, but just haven't consistently put it together in all facets at once, which is what I think John Summerall is looking for.
Atten stays busy. And fair caught at the 21-yard line. That was close. There comes the flag. That's going to be fair catch interference, and it's going to help the field position for Tulane. That was a little too close to Amari Hayes. I saw your hands go up.
I'm not sure what Powell was doing there. I'm not sure if he couldn't see where the football was. But I see why the staff is upset at that one. I mean, he's the second guy there. Just continues to run towards the returner after the fair catch is called for.
Amari Hayes
Kick catch interference, kicking team number 23. 15-yard penalty, the spot and foul. First out.
That is a big one right there to help out this offense. Brian Ginn, he is not a happy man right now.
Well, I mean, he could be talking about what he might want for dinner after the game. It didn't have to all be towards that last play. But no, I get his frustration on that one because that's something that can't happen in these close games. And Powell certainly knows better. Just got a young man making a mistake.
Retzloff with 2:22 and 2 timeouts remaining in the first half. Play action pass, pressure coming, steps up. Retzloff flicks it toward the sideline. It's incomplete. He was throwing it up to Javen Gordon.
Now that's been a little bit of a change for Retzloff here today. When those plays break down, when you watch the film on him, he does an incredible job when a play breaks down of not only keeping his eyes downfield, but taking off when he needs to. Just felt like he had a lot of green grass on that play to be able to pick up some positive yardage versus trying to force the football to the back out of the backfield.
2nd and 10 at the 36. They will give it this time, and a big hole for Gordon, who falls down. He really had one man to beat. It was Pooh Lawton, but Gordon trips up. Still a big pickup for the true freshman.
He would have still been running if the turf monster didn't get him. But Derek Graham, the left tackle that time, number 76. Like an elite
This is the 2-minute
tackle on
timeout.
that side. Incredible job blocking. Let's step away for a
Timeout on the
second.
field.
Tulane still pushing down the field to try to stretch this lead.
Joe Craddock and the Tulane offense trying to extend a 10-point lead with 2 minutes to go. What are you looking for here for the Green Wave offensively?
Well, they got enough time to be able to put this football into the end zone. I think they're going to have to feature these running backs a little bit more to try to drive this football down the field to take control. But I've been trying to figure out why they're not having Jake Resloff run the football a little bit more. Would love to see them implement that here, too, into this game plan.
1st and 10, McClure cuts inside. He's dropped to the 50-yard line from behind. Tackled by Jameer Jones.
And look at the runners for Tulane. McClure's got 6 carries, 36 yards. Gordon has 5 carries, 18 yards. So they're spreading the football around there with the tailbacks, with the young backs.
Retzloff from midfield, throwing over the middle. It is caught. Hauled in by Zycarl Lewis down to the 33-yard line.
Well, this is great for Zycarl because we saw him with one of those critical drops earlier in the game. Nice job running the post route in the middle of the field, making a tough catch. They may take another look at this to see if he actually indeed held on. Temple's taking a timeout.
Temple takes their first charge timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 1:25. 1:25.
Trying to get some answers here about that last play. Since they have it, let's take another look here, Chucky. Looks like Carl Lewis hangs on to this football as he's bobbling it in his body. You can kind of see from that angle there if he held on or not. Doesn't look like the ball hits the ground. It does look like it's all over him and moving, but
that first look, you can tell it's completely loose, but I don't think it hit the ground, to your point.
Excellent job from our camera crew there, catching that shot. It is moving around, but I don't think that ball hits the ground, at least from the shots that we've seen.
Stas Hall and Anthony Giassi leading our fearless Philadelphia crew today. Don't you hate when the official's doing his job and he just gets right in the line of the shot?
It is as if that's what's on his mind. Let me encroach on this shot that they desperately need. Just walk right by here. We appreciate our officiating crew. Lots of angles here to see this. I'm not sure there's anything that I personally see with the football hitting the ground to negate the call on the field.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line for Tulane. Plenty of time left, 1:25, and the Green Wave still with 2 timeouts. Mama Hat in motion. Saw him with his first catch earlier tonight. McClure on the carry. You see the shiftiness from McClure as he's knocked down at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, just incredible vision here from the redshirt freshman, the young back. I thought he could have cut this football up a little bit sooner, but he eventually found it. That backdoor cutting lane behind Jordan Hall and Jack Hollyfield on that offensive line. Nice pickup from the tailback.
1st and 10 at the 22. They go to the ground again with McClure. Steps ahead and is driven back by countless red jerseys. Jones, one of them, in on the stop, along with Eric Stewart.
Right now, offensively, though, for Tulane, this left side of this offensive line is just getting incredible push from Derek Graham, John Pakuski. Watch 82 here. They're pushing these defenders 4 or 5 yards into the backfield. Just an incredible job of getting push up front. Anytime you can do that, even if it's a young back, it just makes the cut and the read so much simpler.
Big tight end Justin Reed in motion. Retzloff rolling that way, throwing back across his body, dropped. It would have been a gain just to the 15-yard line, so a short gain plus the clock would have been running, but still another drop for Tulane.
I think that's the second one we've seen from Zycarl Lewis. Not being able to come down.
Pass. Please reset the game clock to 30 seconds.
With
3-0 on the game clock, please. 30 seconds on the game clock.
Incredible throw from Jake Resloff there. Threading that needle in that space. It's another one that Zycarl Lewis has got to come down with.
He joined us late. Retzloff without his top target, Bryce Bohannon, injured in practice earlier this week. Retzloff throwing Incomplete, looking the direction of Lewis. And that's going to bring up 4th down and the field goal unit onto the field with Patrick Durkin.
Tulane, going back to what we saw a little bit early in this quarter where they're just sort of out of sync. And I tell you, we talk about momentum shifts. A drop pass on offense is just, it just completely takes the energy out of that offense and out of that drive with a drop pass.
36-yarder for Durkin, who's already hit from 50 tonight. This one from the left hash. The operation is clean, and the kick is cleaner for Patrick Durkin, one of the best in the business, to make it a 27 lead. And you said it earlier, the Green Wave get the football to start the second half.
Certainly a positive outcome for Tulane, but I think this goes back to what John Summerall said about his team coming into this week, about feeling like they've been inconsistent across the board. We're seeing some of that inconsistency play out here today.
How cool was it there? Jake Retzloff and Sam Howard both celebrating with Durkin on that kick. I mean, that's a lonely world as a kicker. You got just a couple friends, your punter and your long snapper, maybe your holder, which a lot of times is your punter anyway.
It's the easiest job, though, Chuck.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
I'm sorry.
You're going to tell me golf's easy next to? What's going on here?
Just of the spots on the football field, it in particular is just a simpler job than some of the other stuff. That's all I'm saying. Maybe not the easiest. Maybe I need to reword it. The simplest.
Any former kicker that played with you is like, yeah, here we go, Darius. Not a friend to kickers anywhere. Potentially a big return here to the 33, but there's just 16 seconds left for Temple. They do have 2 timeouts. We'll see if they even try to take a chance with Evan Simon and company.
So right now for Simon, he's 8 of 14, 80 yards in the air with the 1 touchdown. Just got to figure out how to run the football a little bit more, but a lot of good games coming up on our network here. That North Texas Rice game out on the line for Eric Morris and company.
It's a unique style of football that Rice plays. You've already got East Carolina looking likely to drop off that 1-loss line in the American, so this could really change things in the conference over the next 4 hours or so. Simon goes short toward the sideline, and Ducker does get out of bounds. Gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. To throw something over the middle with 11 seconds left and 2 timeouts.
Got a chance to try to get this football a little bit further down the field. I'm a little surprised that they haven't just knelt this. They have not had a whole lot of productivity here in this second quarter on offense. They want to hurt themselves by trying to press too much.
How big is that foot of Colin Chase being out of bounds on their last drive? Big swing in this game potentially. Simon steps up, he is sacked, and you have to imagine, well, Temple is going to take a timeout with 3 seconds left.
Temple takes their second charge, timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 5 seconds. 5.
I mean, you know, you got your quarterback in harm's way there, taking a shot towards the end of this second quarter. In some instances, you got to just wave the white flag. I understand Casey Keeler trying to put his team in position to get closer in this football game, but with 5 seconds left and an offense that has no momentum, not really in a good spot.
2 one-point losses for Temple this season in the American Conference. They have played with every team they faced in this league. East Carolina the exception. But that just shows you how crazy the American's been this year with what's happening at UTSA with East Carolina. They're throwing sideline, and they do step out of bounds with a second on the clock. Up to the 44-yard line to Holloway.
Well, I guess the question is, can Simon get this football? How far can Simon throw this football?
Temple takes their third and final charge timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Have you ever been on the field for a Hail Mary or any sort of lateral play that scored?
Yes, I have. I most certainly have. Yeah, shout out to Jeff Samardzija. But yeah, we had a game against Pittsburgh where it came down to the Hail Mary play, and Samardzija made a play, and we won the football game.
He's pretty good.
Not bad. Had a great baseball career, though.
Yeah.
Got to give him a lot of credit. I remember when he was making that decision, we had that conversation. He was like, I'm not sure what I was going to do. And I was like, you know, you need to play some baseball.
You said, look, you're good,
like,
but yeah.
You can play,
okay.
but like, you don't got to get hit and beat up. Like, I'll do the football thing, you do the baseball thing kind of thing. But
I don't think I want to have a year-end review with you. Yeah, you should probably do something different.
Here's the thing, man. Tough love there, for sure. But you practice these all the time. So both teams have practiced this situational football of what you're going to do. It's where you see teams sometimes with the lateral throws back and forth. I think this has got to be one where we can see how far Evan Simon can throw it.
From the 44, he throws it short. Here comes the flips. Back to Holloway, former quarterback, hucks it across field. Somebody's got to get on the football. Tulane scoops it up. Oh, my goodness. Ducker trips him up, and they won't score. Oh, my Lord. What did we just witness? Javion White tripped up by Jay Ducker.
And we talked about it, Chucky, like not putting yourself in this situation because the offense has got no momentum. You got guys trying to stretch beyond themselves to close out this half when you've got another half of football. This could have been catastrophic for Temple. What a heads-up play at the end to get him down.
John Sumrall thought he was running to the locker room with a 3-score lead, but Javion White tripped up in one of the most ridiculous endings to a first half you will see. There were 3 offensive linemen over there that ball was thrown to.
And not to mention, Temple used all their timeouts on that series and on that round.
It's halftime in Philadelphia. 20-7, Tulane. Will they be the favorite to make the college football playoff out of the American after this week? Who knows with what's happening across the conference. The halftime show is next. Welcome you back to Philadelphia. Tulane leading Temple 20-7 at the break. The Green Wave trying to remain in that top echelon of the American Conference, and they did a lot of work on the ground. Darius, 81-18 in the rush yard category. Again, this team isn't necessarily the flashiest team, but they just win.
Yeah, they keep figuring it out, especially on the road in a hostile environment right now for Tulane. So showing up in a big way. The kicking game has been strong for them. I suspect that they'll continue with some of that here in the second half, but they're up with a lead, and a lot of it due to this guy, Shaz Preston. On that big touchdown catch, the second play of offense for Tulane in the first quarter. He's been a guy they've been leaning on here today. Should also remind you, Bryce Bohannon, their top wide receiver, is out today. They have missed him, so Shaz stepping up in a real big way when they need him.
Tulane going to get good field position because the kick is out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds on a kicking team. Probably placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
What a tough day for the special teams coordinator. I mean, he is just having a rough one at this moment right now with the kicking game continuing to struggle for the Owls.
They'll start on defense, Darius. What's it got to be for Temple in the second half to get back into it?
Well, they definitely need to create a turnover, but I would also just say that somebody's got to be a spark for this team. On defense, on offense, we talked a lot about the kicking game. Someone needs to be a spark for the Owls to get some life to them.
Hayes in motion, Javen Gordon the back. They throw it quickly to Brown Stevens, who is spun around, now tries to get outside, and he runs out of bounds at the 40-yard line. They'll get 5 on the play.
It's Curly Ordonez, number 33. Did a nice job of just stringing that out. He's had a little bit of a quiet day here today. They need 33 to step up. He's one of their leading tacklers, the junior, who caused some havoc in the backfield.
Maybe their most disruptive defensive lineman is Cameron Stewart. This is a broken play, but Retzloff is able to get 6 yards and move the chains.
To me, that's the recipe of success for Tulane. Allowing Retzloff to run the football. He's expecting to hand that football off to Gordon, but Gordon goes out on a route. So Retzloff does the next best thing, just get upfield to pick up some yardage, able to pick up that first down, just a heads-up play from the fifth-year senior.
Then he turned to give it to McClure, and he had taken off. He said, somebody take this football.
Please help.
Throwing quickly outside, Preston again. And Preston's dragged down from behind by Osweke. Gain of 9 on first down.
This is something Tulane should be taking a little bit more advantage of. Then Osweke is 10 yards off of the wide receiver that time, so Preston has nothing but green grass in front of him to catch that football on the hitch route. They need to dial those up a bit more on offense, taking what the defense can give you.
2nd and 1 pistol formation with McClure as the back, and he will get the carry and the first down. Dips ahead to the 41-yard line. Ordonez makes the stop, another first down for Tulane on a positive start to the second half.
This is where they win. They really went on the line of scrimmage. We talked about this at the top, Chucky. I think this offensive line for Tulane is the best, one of the best, from a productivity standpoint in the American Conference. So the more they can lean on that physicality up front, the more success they have on offense.
Mo Turner is the back. Play action for Retzloff, throwing toward the sideline, incomplete. Summerall wants a flag on the sideline. He's not going to get it. They thought maybe Lewis Fry had grabbed Anthony Brown Stevens.
And this is really a miss from Retzloff. Omari Hayes, number 1, was streaking across the middle of the field, headed to that pylon wide open. And Retzloff did not get back to him in the progression. Wanted a hole there on that side. I was looking for it. Not sure there was much contact there.
2nd and 10. Turner on the carry. Turner, they got him around the legs quickly. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and not much more. Charles Calhoun made the stop.
Turner got a little bit of a happy feet there going behind Jordan Hall. Watch him just kind of stop in the middle of the hole, kind of tiptoeing a little bit there. Now again, Turner has been out for some time, battling the injuries. Nice job from Charles Calhoun there. They're excited to have Turner back, but might be a little rusty, might take a little bit of time to get back into rhythm at the running back position.
Gordon the back on 3rd and 10. Movement up front, hands being pointed everywhere. Fingers, I should say.
It's like Shadre Hurst, number 56, the left guard, was a little early there.
Full start. Offense number 56. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Big spot for Temple right here.
It sure is, and one of the things they haven't done really since the first quarter is just try to pressure Reslov. You've got a 3rd down and long situation. You see teams dial it up. Now would be a great time to try to put some pressure on Jake. And they're at least showing it up front right now at the line of scrimmage with everybody bottled up.
Cameron Stewart got home earlier. It was just the 10th sack allowed this year by Tulane's offensive line. 3rd and 10. Here comes Stewart off the edge. Quick pass out wide to Hayes, who tries to cut it upfield using the speed and bouncing off tacklers. Hayes dragged forward. He's going to be close. I think they're going to mark him a yard shy of the 1st down. Omari Hayes with exceptional quickness.
I mean, the ability with the ball in his hands. But watch Javion Brown here, number 30, Chucky. He's the first guy. He's at that point of attack. Hayes does a good job of giving him a little bit of a wiggle leg, almost like a stanky leg kind of move. I understand the reference there, but an incredible job of just being able to navigate in traffic with the football in your hands from Omari Hayes. He was the guy who was streaking earlier, wide open down the field. Might have found something here.
They tried the tush push earlier in this game and got called for a false start.
Previous play where the runner is short of the line to gain is under further review.
Checking the spot. All right.
Casey Keeler, just wonder what's going through his mind after a tough first half. It was kind of a weird feel for Temple because you didn't necessarily feel like they played poorly, but they were down 2 scores.
Yeah, a lot of inconsistencies, and then to end that game off, and we'll see where if Hayes gets the line to gain there. He's pushing forward. His individual effort there, got some help from his comrades there, including Jordan Hall. Push at the end of that. Omari Hayes, he's just 5'9", 170 pounds, so he's not a big guy out there. Really big on that play. But I think you're right for Temple. They're still very much in this game. They've just got to figure out how to play consistent football.
Based on his knee, they're actually
ruling on the field is upheld. It's 4th and 1.
Tell you what, I actually thought maybe the ball should have come back a half yard based on where his knee was.
I think I saw the same thing. A little generous with the spot there. But we saw the tush push earlier in the game. We'll see if they come back to that. This is a pretty big moment for Tulane offensively to start this 2nd half, going for it on 4th down.
Retzloff 6'1", 205, not quite the Jalen Hurts build. We'll see if they try it though. Under center. They will hand it off and try to get outside with McClure, who dives ahead for a gain of about 2 yards and the 1st down. Javier Morton made the stop.
That's an excellent job from the redshirt freshman running back, knowing he's going one-on-one against Morton, the safety, coming down to press him. This is one-on-one. Somebody's going to get a yard or you're not. Plant that foot in the ground and get up the field. Nice job by McClure to pick up the 1st down.
Brown Stevens almost ran into his teammate when he was motioning across to get into the slot. It's Reed in motion. Retzloff looking downfield, now throwing underneath. That ball might have been tipped. It's incomplete. Looking for Johnny Pascuzzi, the Iowa transfer at tight end.
And you see too there with McClure out of the backfield, running that wheel route. That's something that they may go back to offensively, is taking that running back, moving him into the flat situation and having him go up the field on a wheel route. Could be a telltale sign of something they may dial up later.
McClure, 11 carries, 61 yards. He's had some of their longer rushes. 12 yards is his long today. 2nd and 10. Retzloff on the keeper dives ahead to the 23. You've been asking for that a lot, and it's been successful the couple times they've done it.
It's such a positive play because it picks up 4 or 5 yards, sometimes 6 yards when they run it. And that's what you see Retzloff on film, is in these run pass options. He does a really good job of just getting up the field, using his body to fall forward. So you do that on 1st down, on 2nd down. You just set up a 3rd down and manageable situation as the Green Wave are in now.
3rd and 4. They've already ran 5 minutes off the clock here in this 3rd quarter. Still the opening drive of the 2nd half. Handoff, Gordon charges ahead toward the 20. And we have a very similar situation. This is going to bring up 4th and 1.
This is one of the things we saw defensively from Temple last week against Army, where it was like death by 1,000 plays, where the team was just driving the football down the field and getting those 1st downs on 4th down. We saw Army do that a ton against Temple last week. Now Tulane trying to dial up that recipe for success.
That included a 9-minute and 53-second drive to end the game. Army winning by 1 and kneeling it out inside the Temple 10-yard line. Durkin perfect tonight and almost on the season with just the 1 miss. That remains as Durkin connects again. He has been such a weapon for them all year. Now 3 for 3 tonight to make it a 16-point Tulane lead.
You have to show him quite a bit of love. He has been perfect here today. Tulane, Green Wave, they're up big here.
Coming up at 7:30 Eastern on ABC and the all-new ESPN app, the final game of a triple header. Number 20 Tennessee takes on Florida in the Swamp. Big changes coming to Florida.
Quite a bit happening down there, that's right.
Is this going to be the craziest coaching carousel you can remember as we Look at these two teams, played every year since 1990. Tennessee's lost 10 straight on the road.
Yeah, I think so. I think I would say it's pretty wild because there's a lot of openings. And the crazy part is that once one gets filled, it sort of impacts everything else. I know a lot of folks are waiting on Lane Kiffin to figure out where and what he's going to do. He's got a decision coming up here too, but that carousel is going to get moving once a couple of big fish fall.
Evan Simon and this offense need to get moving, Darius. What did you like that they can do a little bit more of in this second half?
Well, right now he's 11 of 17 for 59 yards and the touchdown pass. He's been okay. The one area where they really need some success is continuing to run the football. They just haven't done enough of it. Smith has 2 carries. Ducker has 5 carries. They just haven't tried to feature the running game. They're going to get to the point to where it might be too late to do that. And then I think you're asking Evan Simon to do something that isn't necessarily his bag by airing it out every play.
Ducker up the middle. He gets 3 on first down. Remember that big play late in the first half, Colin Chase and Simon connecting on the sideline, but Chase stepping out of bounds. We've seen success when they've looked Peter Clark's way. He had the touchdown earlier.
Figure out how to lean on the guys who get you there and get creative with the play calling some.
Simon rolling out on second down. Bermudez makes the catch. He ends up coming backwards a little bit, so doesn't quite get as many yards as he would have when he caught the ball.
It's a pretty good job from Simon, though, here. Rolling out to his right. Going to that first read on the outside. Bobbled it a little bit there.
3rd and 3.
This is a big-time series for Temple. Really need to build some momentum here on offense. This is a big one.
Chase in motion. Simon rolling that direction, throwing to Chase, who's open, and they've got a first down near the 40-yard line. That is a big conversion.
Huge one. It almost feels like they made that one in desperation, but a good job by Colin Chase there, coming across in motion and then just continuing on the flat route. You see 32, Bailey Despani, the safety, did not carry Colin Chase on that route. That's why he was wide open on the outside.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Ducker the back. Play action. They flip it out to Chase, who grabs it with one hand and across the 45, dips out of bounds just shy of the 50-yard line. Nice snag by Chase, but there's a flag behind the line of scrimmage. Tulane sideline saying that's coming back.
Let's see what the call is. Looked like Simon got hit at the end of that play, too.
Officials still working this out. Our referee Charles Lamartina today.
There is no foul on the play.
Had to talk it out, you know. Summerall.
He said, you saw it.
Who's that? He's like, we're good.
And then after the call, he said, hold on. You saw it. I thought you said we were on the same page. He said, we agreed first.
We literally shook on it.
It's a long discussion. Our officiating crew right here.
Correction.
Oh.
Number 1 was covered on the play, and he caught a legal forward pass. This is illegal touching. Offense number 1. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down. 2nd down.
Wow, first off. And then I think secondarily to that, for the coach to be able to come in and influence it after the decision was made is pretty interesting to me, given the call, because they had already decided what they were going to do, and then just the confrontation with John Summerall shed a little bit more light on the play.
Correction, it is 2nd down.
I mean, you see coaches sort of plead their case quite a bit. I think this might be one of the first times where I've seen them it actually work the second time around.
John Summerall says, I rest my case.
Mic drop.
2nd and 15. Simon hands off up the middle. And just like that, this drive has come to a halt. Just a pickup of one. Harvey Dyson, one of them in on the stop with Sam Howard, and it's 3rd and 14.
It is incredible what a call on the field and a stoppage of play can do to the rhythm of an offense. This is a tough 3rd down situation for the Owls here because we've seen Tulane dial up pressure in these moments. Let's see if they come after Evan Simon again.
TJ Smith showing pressure off the edge. Simon, pressure coming. Ducker on the screen pass. Clark couldn't hang on to his block downfield, and they get just beyond the original line of scrimmage. It goes back to what you talked about with Temple, inconsistency. That was their 6th penalty, something that's really hindered them today. Some injured players on the field.
Defensive player.
Harvey Dyson and Chris Rogers were both shaken up on the play for Tulane. Rogers is up, but Dyson remains down. That's a big one.
He made a big-time play.
Timeout on the
that
field.
Specific play as well. We'll step aside and check on Harvey Dyson.
For our Fansville College football update brought to you by Dr. Pepper. The Ole Miss situation, it's kind of unusual, but apparently going to make a decision after the Egg Bowl. Little decision.
Lane Kiffin, the decision.
Yeah, that's right. Oklahoma wins over Missouri in a defensive battle. That one was the early kickoff. And then the big game tonight in the American, North Texas at Rice. How odd could this race get if Rice were to shock North Texas?
It would be something, especially with what has happened to East Carolina today against UTSA.
That game's at 7:30 right here on ESPNU following the conclusion of our game. 23-7, Tulane leads Temple, and they're going to get the football back right here. Atten almost had that blocked, but it's fair caught at the 25-yard line. Tulane certainly up there as far as group of 6 teams to make the playoff. James Madison just surviving against Washington State today, then North Texas at 38%, Tulane at 18%. I'm curious to see how this might change come Tuesday.
Yeah, well, a lot of it too is, as some of these instances go, is can you get the sexy win? Can you get the big win which is where Tulane can really help themselves if they can stretch this lead in this football game.
With Tulane being the lone ranked team in the college football playoff rankings, the committee's kind of told you what they're thinking.
Yeah.
If Tulane keeps going, they're the team. Retzloff hands off right side. McClure using his speed to get outside. He's got 15 and still on his feet across the 50. Jamari McClure with a big pickup.
This is one of the things I love about them offensively when they use both backs. We've talked about Gordon and McClure. Put them both in the backfield, let one lead for the other. Gordon led for McClure that time. He's able to get up the field and pick up big yardage. But when you have them both in the backfield, it just creates decision-making for the defense to confuse some guys. So I love that call. That's a nice recipe of success, featuring both backs in the backfield at the same time.
Handoff up the middle. McClure ran off the field after that play. He asked for a sub. He was kind of holding his left wrist. And now he is on the sideline. So this is something to keep an eye on. Back-to-back weeks of his best 2 games of his career.
And he's looking like he's certainly in some pain on the sideline. So hopefully we can get some information on him. But today, in the past couple of weeks, he has been the bell cow for them on offense.
Zuberi Mobley is the back now. He has not carried the football yet. Retzloff going to throw underneath to Mobley. First down. Mobley still on his feet to the 30, and a late flag comes in the secondary in the direction of Pascuzzi, who was blocking Ben Osweke downfield. Might actually be even further before that.
We'll have to see what this call was. They were looking at Omari Hayes as a potential block in the back, but
Illegal block at the back. Offense number 1. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
they did get Omari Hayes there. You'll see him trying to create some space at the point of attack there with Mobley. He's taking a... Usually, if a guy falls on his belly, they call that a block in the back. And so I think because of how he fell, this helped affirm the call on the field.
Just wonder if Mobley stays outside and then the defender turns into Hayes rather than away from him, if that would have made the difference there. Instead, it's 2nd and 5. This is Sullivan throwing, the backup quarterback, who hits Pascuzzi for the first down. Brendan Sullivan, a redshirt senior from Davison, Michigan. He's a transfer from Iowa. They said he was actually winning the job halfway through camp.
He does a nice job of faking this to Omari Hayes on the sweep to the backside. Nice little trick play there. We have seen Tulane implement a couple of these style of plays where they're digging deep into that playbook, trying to try some stuff they've done in practice. So far, success on that one.
1st and 10 at the 34. Handoff Gordon. Right side is tackled after a gain of 7 by Castleberry. Tulane just kind of doing whatever they want on the ground right now.
Without a doubt. And these tight ends are kind of the unsung heroes in the running game. Johnny Pacuzzi that time.
For injured defensive player.
Number 82 did a good block, but we've got an injured Owl on the field right now. See if we can't get an idea who this might be.
Timeout on the field.
We'll step away while they tend to the injured player. Tulane by 16 here in Philly.
You got any Gatorade?
Tuesday night, 7 Eastern on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. It's the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. Reese and the guys break it down top to bottom, both coach reactions as well as a live interview with new committee chairman Hunter Yurachek, the Arkansas AD. They'll also project the 12-team field, the Verbo College Football Playoff field right here. Tulane up top, left corner. They've got to win the conference, though. Yeah. That's key, as well as Miami, you see there, who is currently in the 11 spot against Ole Miss. They both need to win the conference.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need to win out as far as the rest of their season goes, which means the next 2 weeks plus the conference championship.
Callaway on the little end around. Oh, he's upended outside by Javier Morton, making a nice stop at the 30 or the 26-yard line.
That's a great play from Morton, and him being one of the fifth-year seniors on this team. We mentioned this for Temple. It's senior night here today, and all they talked about this week was really sending the senior group out in style with a potential win to get themselves into bowl eligibility. I want to see a little bit more fire from this group because they're still in this football game. They just need to make a couple of plays.
3rd and 2. McClure pushing ahead, and I think he just got beyond the line to gain, but we'll see where the spot is. It's right at the 24-yard line where they're going to spot this ball.
At Charles Calhoun and Demerick Morris, number 45 and number 40, both in on that play. See the numbers on McClure. The last 2 weeks, he has really come on strong towards the end of the season for them.
Redshirt freshman from Alabama. Had just 121 yards and a touchdown last year. Played in 5 games, kept the year by taking a red shirt. This is a guy who has a chance to be their workhorse over the next few weeks of what could be some extremely meaningful football for this program.
Well, they talk a lot about, too, especially at the running back position, just having the speed and the wheels. And that's the thing that McClure gives them that the other backs don't, is that extra gear to be able to have those explosive plays. Looks like they got enough for the first down here as well. This little showboat there from Resloff, but that's the thing with the running back group for Tulane with Gordon and McClure, 2 young backs, but McClure is really the explosive guy.
Do you see the Jamal Charles comparison in the running style at least?
I mean, I think so. I think I can see it a bit. It's just that's a lofty one.
And the 25 on his jersey.
I think the number, the hair, you know, like all of that stuff kind of plays into it, I think, a little bit too. But he certainly has some juice speed-wise like Jamal Charles does.
Callaway in motion. Callaway going to throw it again. Looking downfield, and oh, it's incomplete. Denzel Chavis broke on the ball. That could have been a game-changing interception on a dangerous throw from Callaway.
We've seen a couple of trick plays from Tulane here, but watch Preston at the top of this route. He kind of slips as the ball is getting there. I think he was trying to stop to go back in. Might have had a hitch up there with the cleat or something on the ground. Unable to get his footing there to get back to catch that football. That was almost a tragedy for them on offense, which is really what Temple needs. They've got to figure out how to get some life. A potential turnover will really help in that regard.
Barnes is the back, and Barnes gets the carry. Driven back after about 1.5 yards. That last play, Darius, it feels like that was the first time Tulane hadn't ran the football for 5 or 6 yards on first down, and now here they are on a 3rd and long.
But we've been calling for that for most of this game for Tulane to just take it over because they have the more dominant line of scrimmage on offense, particularly with these starting 5 that they have. All these guys up front are really good. Unit 1 for them. One of the things they changed this year on this offensive line is they make sure that all these players are playing together, so they've got Unit 1 and Unit 2 to serve them well in the running game.
3rd and 9. Retzloff, pressure coming, flushed out of the pocket, using the speed and dragged down from behind. Curly Ordonez, we said it earlier, hadn't said his name much. That is a huge play from their top tackler.
Yeah, he comes up in the biggest way possible in the biggest moment here, because if he doesn't get Resloff, not only is he going to get this first down, he might be able to have the room to take this to the house, but this is an individual effort from Ordonez there to just run this quarterback down. That's an excellent play in the open field there with the shoestring tackle from the junior.
42-yarder for Durkin. We've seen him from both hashes. This time from the right hash, and it is good. Mr. Automatic Patrick Durkin makes this a 19-point lead for Tulane with just 53 seconds left in the third quarter.
All right, maybe I take back the comment about it's the simplest job on the field as far as the kicker goes.
I think you said easiest, which
Said
might
easiest.
be worse.
So I'm going to roll it back a little bit. I'll say this, it's the highest pressure roll with the least amount of effort. Does that work?
Okay, yeah.
Or is that still bad?
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. You just got one of the most automatic kickers in the country in front of us, trying to give Mr. Durkin his due.
Look, he certainly deserves his flowers here today. He has been automatic, no doubt about it.
Durkin tees it up with a 3-possession lead. And again into the end zone for a touchback. Evan Simon and Temple with time running out on their hopes of a win on Senior Day against a fired-up Tulane Green Wave team.
Well, I honestly think here, Chucky, for the Owls coming down to the close of this third quarter, now is the time to be aggressive. And what you will see some offenses do is actually get into 2 minutes. Put themselves out there to try to limit the thinking that happens between plays. Let guys just react. It might be something that the Owls need to think about on offense.
Going toward the sideline and completing across the 40 to Kajaya Hollowayne. It's a good start to this drive, and we saw a similar start to their last drive, but it was held up by a penalty.
I think if they can stop hurting themselves, but a nice job by Hollowayne here at the top of the route. Look at the timing of that throw from Simon to Hollowayne. Right as he's breaking outside of him on that route. Excellent connection between the wide receiver and the quarterback.
1st and 10 at the 42. Simon all day to throw, airing it out down the sideline. Some hand fighting and a flag comes out. They're going to get Isaiah Wadsworth, a redshirt senior from Hampton, Georgia.
Pass interference, defense number 8. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
We're going to get him right at the tail end of this. I mean, Hollowayne had no chance on that one with Wadsworth all over him. An easy call there.
Really forcing Temple's hand now at this stage, down 3 possessions to air the ball out. They've only ran it for 23 yards on the day. Simon again, 1st and 10 on the Tulane side of the 50. Using the wheels and gets to the 38. Crafty stuff from Simon in the pocket to get a positive game.
And I think the way they're helping him is by coming up to the line and running the play. But watch Hunter Smith here, number 29, the back. He's going to get out on the route and make a key block there on Sam Howard just to give a little bit more space for Evan Simon to be able to pick up some more yards. It's a nice job there, but one of the ways you can help yourself with your quarterback is to make him not think by getting up to the line of scrimmage and running 2 minutes. Love it.
That's the end of the third quarter. Tulane, it all started with a 69-yarder to Shaz Preston. They lead by 3 scores as we get set for the fourth quarter. That's their target, the American Championship. American on ESPN. In Philadelphia, under the lights tonight. Tulane trying to march toward the American Conference Championship. Some of the results from around the league. Tulsa getting one over Army today with that 1-point win. South Florida, they're the only two-loss team as it stands. East Carolina will join them soon. And then Florida Atlantic over UConn currently. That's a good win for FAU.
No doubt about it, but I think that UTSA win, my goodness, huge for them in that program. East Carolina has been playing some really good football. That's the biggest surprise out of that group so far.
UTSA might be shaking their head a little too, because you think about the results they've gotten at home, beat Tulane badly.
And they got one of the best running backs in the conference too. A lot of firepower on that team.
Owen McCown, their quarterback. Simon to start the fourth quarter, incomplete. Hunter Smith, that is, takes a hit by Wadsworth, who just moments ago was called for the pass interference.
I mean, can we go back to just how, like, years ago, before we were trying to make the game safer, you would have had a corner light a player up in that moment. So I think just a bravo to changing the rules a bit, but I could just envision during my time playing where a guy would just get lit up in that moment. But you got to give Wadsworth a lot of credit by following the rules and not laying a guy out when he could have. Bravo, young man, bravo.
I could feel the personal experience from you speaking through that. Simon on third down, needs it, and incomplete. Was just behind his intended target, Hollowayne, and 4th and 6. They're going to have to go for it.
They are. Now, we've seen this happen a couple of times with guys, wide receivers on routes where they, with the field or something, but getting tripped up at the point of attack in a route. Same thing happened to Hollowayne there. Right as that ball was coming to him, his legs, his cleats kind of got stuck. Made it a difficult catch. This fourth down situation is a critical one. I think for Casey Kaler, it may not be a bad time to just take a timeout, make sure you got the right play and call in.
4 to snap it. Simon barking orders. 1 to snap it, and flag thrown for delay of game. That was bizarre. It was almost like Simon didn't want to snap it.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
I mean, I was calling for the timeout. I'm not sure exactly what Evan Simon saw or what he was told, what was communicated to him, but it looked like Tyler Walker had a very different opinion of what he thought that Simon was supposed to be doing.
It was almost like Simon thought the timeout was coming, to your point.
I'm surprised it didn't come. I'm also surprised that Simon didn't do what he was intended to do, at least from Skylar Walker's perspective.
This makes this a lot tougher. Tulane showing pressure. Tulane bringing pressure. Now they back off. Simon on the run. Got to convert here. Simon throwing. It is caught, but on the sideline, the officials talk. It's a catch. What a play by Evan Simon to get that ball to JoJo Bermudez.
Oh, I thought they had Simon down on this play. What an incredible job of just extending it and getting those knees up right as a defender was trying to trip him up. And what a catch from Bermudez there. I know they're certainly going to take another look at this, but the throw placement was in a tough spot.
Ruling on the field, it's a completed catch for a 1st down. That play is under further review.
Chucky, that ball was outside over the out-of-bounds area, but it looked like JoJo did enough to catch that football and get down. It wasn't the best placement for him to keep the football in. You'll see the ball drifts a little bit on Simon to get over to the outside. That ball is out of bounds where he's catching it, but it looks like his feet were down as he secured that football. That's an incredible individual effort from JoJo Bermudez, though. Nice body control, nice eyes to look that football in. I'm not sure I see enough there, Chucky, to change the call on the field.
I also think that Jordan Norman, number 9, on that other look was kind of in the way, so you can't see if the ball's controlled, but there it looks like it's controlled.
Great job by our TV crew there. And some incredible shots.
Man, you rarely see a completion like that. You see a quarterback kind of running out of space, throwing it right on the sideline.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down, Temple.
Big time play. Now, we've been looking for a spark for the Owls. It feels like they may have one here if they can come down here and get some success and come away with some points.
We gotta go. Hey, we gotta get the ball.
First and 10 at the 30.
We've been looking for Peter Clark. Right now, he's 2 catches for 25 yards. He's number 88. He'll be at the top of the screen in the slot. The big fella's a guy they feature when they need it. And right now, feels like they need it.
Both catches came in the first quarter. One of them the touchdown, the lone score for Temple today. Simon backs up, running out of space, and chucks this out of bounds. Tulane asking if he was outside the tackle box there.
Lots of pressure from Harvey Dyson there. Defensive lineman for Tulane. And that's been the tough part for Temple really all season, is their offensive line trying to piece this together. A lot of new guys up front. That's been the most inconsistent area for them on offense, is their offensive line. Trying to figure out what the right combination of guys are to give themselves the best chance for success. They're still figuring it out in week 13.
Second and 10. Simon throwing quickly this time out to Mason, who stumbles down near the 25. They'll mark him at the 26 to bring up third down.
One of the things you would see sometimes in these situations when you have backs like Mason and Hunter Smith is to draw up a screenplay. Drop a screenplay in this area of the field to try to give these backs some opportunities in space. Right now they got Jay Ducker back in the backfield. A steady back, he's to the left of Evan Simon.
Third and 6. Pressure coming off the edge. Simon throwing off his back foot. Ducker comes back and catches it at the 15. Look at the adjustment from the running back.
You got to figure out how to get your guys involved, the guys who can make plays. Ducker's working against Sam Howard. Anytime you have a running back going up against a linebacker, you have to feel like you can win in that moment. And a nice job by Ducker of adjusting to catch that football.
First and 10 at the 15. Simon throwing end zone. Lot of contact there. It's going to be pass interference again, this time on TJ Smith. You could see Bermudez get pulled toward
Pass
him.
Interference. Defense number 13. Ball is placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
And there's no way TJ Smith's arguing right now with the refs about that call. I mean, it was blatant from up here where we could see it. But so much contact and so much jersey pull, not sure how he thought that was not supposed to be called in that moment.
Sets up first and goal at the 2-yard line. Temple can make this interesting with a touchdown here and 13 minutes to play.
Hopefully they keep this football on the ground with Jay Ducker.
Simon, play action. He's throwing end zone. It's caught by Chase. Touchdown, flag down as well. Likely against Tulane. We'll have to hear from the officials first, but as it stands, Simon to Chase for the touchdown.
Holding. Defense number 12. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Casey Ezomume on the hold.
A nice job by Chase of catching this football in traffic, just getting low. And that's the thing I love about Evan Simon is he protects the football. One of the ways you protect it is by throwing it only where your wide receiver can catch it. Low ball to a guy moving across the field. Only Colin Chase can catch that, or it's an incomplete pass. Incredible placement by Evan Simon, and they've got a 2-point play they're going to try to run here.
To try to make this an 11-point game. Simon looking right under pressure. He throws short. Well, there's no chance there. And it's an unsuccessful 2-point attempt.
What a job by Garner there of not allowing Simon to go anywhere with the football. But the Owls showing a little bit of life here. They're down 13 points here in the fourth.
Here's our College Football Award Spotlight brought to you by Home Depot, featuring the Davey O'Brien Award. Drew Mestemaker for North Texas, 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns as a first-year starter. Remember to tune in for the Home Depot College Football Awards show Friday, December 12th at 7 on ESPN. North Texas Rice is next, right here on ESPNU. A huge game for the Mean Green.
Well, what a season, though, for Mestemaker. Hard to believe he not started a college football game up until this season. Remarkable year.
Chance here for Chavis down the sideline now. Chavis with one man to beat. He's tripped up and dropped at the 37-yard line. Denzel Chavis.
Well, what a return from Chavis here. Watch Carl Harden, the kicker, number 98. He's the guy who has a chance to get him down. All this open space on the left side. The kicker whiffs. Absolutely whiffs on it. Good job of just slowing him down, but field position for Tulane.
Timeout.
It looks like we got...
For injured to return team
It's
player.
actually T.J. Smith Jr. on the
Timeout on the
return.
field.
The defensive back from Arlington, Texas. So Smith with the big-time return, and he is now down on the field. We'll step away. Annual Las Vegas Grand Prix tonight under the lights on the Strip, 11 Eastern on ESPN. Lando Norris continues to lead the standings, and he'll look to get one step closer to clinching the title. Our pre-race coverage begins at 10 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. What an awesome setting for a race, by the way.
No doubt, and the Bellagio, another awesome place to do it. I'm more of a Venetian guy when I go to Vegas, but Bellagio's nice.
Me too.
See, we like the Venetian, but listen, last time I was there, I won't get into it. They took some more money, but still, I like the place.
That was T.J. Smith for Tulane with the big return. He was helped off and in the injury tent currently, but it's 1st and 10 for the Green Wave at the Temple 38-yard line. Retzloff throwing out wide. Shaz Preston had the 69-yard touchdown earlier in the game. He's got 8 yards here on 1st down.
They seem to like to go at Jalen Castleberry, number 19. Whenever Castleberry's in one-on-one situations, whether it's Preston or Shackleford, they target him. Sometimes in the scouting report, you find a guy that you think you can take advantage of. And so far, so good on the outside for the wide receivers working against Jalen Castleberry.
Tulane, since 2022, 27-3 in American Conference games. McClure getting outside. He's got a first down, and he's knocked down just across the 25-yard line. Hayes couldn't quite hold his block, but they moved the chains.
This offensive line for Tulane continues to perform, especially on the left side. Derek Graham, number 76, just going to push up to the field and create a wall on the outside. Let's put McClure in great position to pick up the first down. So far on this offensive line, Derek Graham, the left tackle, MVP on this O-line. He's been outstanding today.
Another handoff for McClure, who gets outside with that speed. Now upfield across the 15, keeps the legs churning all the way down to the 8-yard line. Another big gain for McClure as a team. They're now over 165 yards rushing and 192 yards passing.
Watch Jack Hollifer, the center, number 58. He snaps the football and then pulls around the side. You know how athletic you got to be the center at 6'4", 300 pounds to snap the football and then pull on the outside? Bravo, big guy, bravo. And a nice job protecting the football at the end of that play, too, by McClure.
Who's the most athletic offensive lineman you ever played with?
I think I probably would say Ryan Harris. Shout out to Ryan Harris. He was
a good NFL career.
Long NFL career, yeah, played a long time, won a
takes
Super
their
Bowl.
First charge time out of the half.
Super Bowl in Denver with Peyton Manning, but super athletic left tackle.
It's a 30-second timeout.
Was really good at another guy, center John Sullivan. Played a long time in Minnesota with the Vikings. Another guy super athletic. That's hard to do, to snap the football as a center and then to get up and move. You have to think that for Jack Hollifield, he's probably a good ballroom dancer. Just a guess. Got good feet, athleticism.
Is that something you've ever done?
Maybe I'm reaching, I'm just saying. Athletic move from the big fella there.
Holyfield transferred from App State, spent 1 year there, second team all-conference, first 3 years of his career at Virginia Tech, but finishing things up at Tulane. They're happy to have him in New Orleans. He's the centerpiece of one of the best offensive lines in the conference. McClure is the running back. He's ran 15 times, 110 yards, and looks like he's got a grip as the main guy in this backfield. McClure again for the 16th time runs it down to the 4-yard line.
And this linebacking group for Temple is just going to have to figure out how to make more plays at the point of attack. Caden Supernaut, number 18, is in the Mike Backer position. Just waited a couple of steps, wasn't as aggressive as he probably should have been to try to come down and stop McClure. That's the recipe of success for stopping a running game. When you know the ball's coming, is the linebackers fitting in their gap, but fitting in their gaps aggressively at the point of attack.
2nd and goal. Play action, Retzloff basically hands this to Justin Reed for the touchdown to make it 32-13 as Tulane is cruising toward win number 9 of the season.
This is an incredible call from offensive coordinator Joe Craddock. They got the backers running down, being aggressive in the running game. Retzloff pulls it after the play fake to get it to Reed.
Foul for offensive pass interference on number 11. The ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage.
But you saw Ordunez and Supernaut, 33 and 18, at the line of scrimmage, trying to slow down the run. They hit him with the okey-doke.
Tulane will go for 2 to try and make this a 15-point lead. Or I'm sorry, trying to get to 34 and make this a 21-point lead. They waved off the penalty for potential offensive pass interference due to the ball being caught in the backfield. And now Tulane trying to make it 21. Retzloff throwing outside, and they do. Anthony Brown-Stevens connecting on the 2-point conversion.
Incredible job from Brown-Stevens there, working against Ben Osweke, number 24 for the Owls. It's an incredible route at the top of it. Well, Tulane, they are in prime position to continue to lead in the American Conference. More football in a minute.
Tulane well on their way to extending their dominance that dates back to 2022. Their conference record, second best to Georgia. The Green Wave 27-3 in American Conference play over the last 4 seasons. It's just been an unbelievable run that started a few years ago with Willie Fritz, the first 2 years of it, the last 2 years with John Sumrall.
I mean, he has extended this into a powerhouse out in New Orleans. And you think about just what's happening in New Orleans, especially this season. Tulane's having a terrific year. They're in the top 25, but the Saints are really struggling, which means you get the whole city behind what you're doing on the college football side. It's a great time for Tulane to dominate, even as far as New Orleans is concerned.
Pelicans are struggling too.
And the Pelicans are struggling. It's their sports town right now in New Orleans. And John Sumrall, now look, there's no surprise that with just how well he did at Troy, how well it's gone at Tulane, that he's in the conversation with some openings across the country. But one of the things he sort of shared with us was that the 2 most important things to him are his family and resources. Those are the 2 things. Is his family happy? Does he have the resources to compete for a conference championship? That's always the question that he's using and the barometer he's using for his decision-making with opportunities as it relates to his career.
1st and 10 for Evan Simon, and Temple needing a big drive and quickly. That is intercepted. On the first play of the drive, it is picked off by Joshua Moore, the redshirt sophomore from League City, Texas, his first interception.
Now, I'm sure they're going to look at
Ruling
this.
on the field is an interception. First down, Tulane.
Now, we saw Holloway fall earlier because of something with the turf, and he kind of falls down again here, sort of slips back. Now, that ball is thrown way behind him, so he's just trying to stop to be able to make a play on the football. We've seen the slippage really continue for these wide receivers at Temple. It was hard to see from that angle if Joshua Moore
play of an
secured the play.
Is under further review.
This is we should have a great look at it here if he kept this football. He had the foot there, Holloway as well. I always like to look at the guys around him and see if they really think it in. And you saw Chris Rogers there. He was a little suspect on whether or not his teammate caught the football. That's number 4 here. He's unsure. If he's unsure, a lot of times it's kind of a telltale. Hard to see, though, from this angle. Remember, the call on the field is an interception, so they need definitive evidence to negate that and overturn that.
The Temple offense and the Tulane defense all kind of came back out onto the field to huddle. So I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's loose.
That was a good shot.
That was a good view.
Right there. That ball bounced back into his chest. So nice job by our camera crew catching all these different angles. Like that ball was on the ground. From this shot here, it's kind of clear that that football really bounces on the ground and rolls on the ground a bit. Now, is his arm underneath that? Hard to see.
Oh, yeah, that's incomplete.
It looks like that ball is rolling around on the ground.
Still no word from our officiating crew. We're convinced in the booth, though, that's an incomplete pass. It should be Temple football, 2nd and 10 at the 25. I think the teams have the word before we do. The referee's still down at the monitor at the opposing 18-yard line.
Let's see what the call is.
After further review, it is an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down.
I think that's the right call from what we could see from our angles here. But Evan Simon has got to be able to get this football down the field. That's one of the first times that we've seen him throw behind a wide receiver. He's usually pretty accurate with his throws in traffic. But they're going to need to drive down the field. Now, their last series where they scored the touchdown, what we saw worked was them getting in a 2-minute field. rushing to the line and allowing Simon to command things.
Four-man rush for Tulane. Simon with the pocket collapsing is drugged to the ground by Jordan Norman.
Good job by Norman there coming off that defensive end position, but Travion McAlpine, 95, was also in on the backfield. And that's the thing for a defense here in the fourth quarter. If you can get pressure with just 4 guys, it's almost impossible for any quarterback to find some wide receivers in the opening in the coverage.
This is like a prevent defense for Tulane on 3rd and long. The throw short to Bermudez, who slides down at the 19. They get nothing to bring up 4th down, and the punting unit jogs onto the field. And that is a helpless man right there, Tyler Walker, a helpless feeling that he is certainly feeling right now.
Certainly some frustration out of the offensive coordinator there, just looking to try to create some space for his football team. The one thing that's really surprised me here, Chucky, has really just been the effort of Temple. We haven't seen them overextend themselves. We haven't seen guys hype, excited about playing in senior day. They have a lot on the line here. The rest of the way, they just need 1 win to give themselves bowl eligibility. I just would have thought they would have come out and played a bit more spirited, or at least just effort through plays. We've seen guys kind of give up, and I know it's cold, I know there's a lot of stuff happening, but it doesn't mean you can't play hard and you can't play tough. Because we know Casey Keeler, he's looking for that out of his team and expects it.
Jake Retzloff and Tulane with a 3-touchdown lead and 8:26 to play in the fourth quarter. Retzloff going to throw, play action pass, and he dumps it off underneath to Hayes, who's got a 1st down and crosses the 40-yard line, a gain of about 17.
It's really hard if you're a weak side linebacker and Curly Ordonez, number 33, having to guard a shifty wide receiver like Omari Hayes. That is a matchup that you will not win from the backer position. So a nice job exploiting that from Joe Craddock and Jake Retzloff and company.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Tulane approaching 400 yards of total offense. Gordon with a nice run, and the freshman pushing forward close to the 33.
What a tandem here in the backfield, though, for Tulane. McClure's got 114 yards rushing. Gordon's got over 30 yards rushing. Add these 2 guys together, that's a lot of productivity in the backfield.
Second and 5. Play action again. Retzloff with time. Little sidearm throw to Gordon, who couldn't haul it in.
And if Gordon catches this football, he's definitely going to pick up the 1st down and a lot more.
Barnes, excuse me.
Donald Barnes in there, the 3rd. Got to be able to catch those and take advantage of those opportunities. Also would have kept the clock going as well to continue to run time down on it.
North Texas, Rice next. With North Texas one of 4 one-loss teams, I should say one of 3 after East Carolina loses at UTSA tonight, vying for a spot in the American Championship. Retzloff pump fakes, throws incomplete. Coverage by Beno Sweke downfield, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Nice job by Sweke from his safety spot. Looks like he's a little banged up on that play as well. Coming down, making a play on Zycarl Lewis Jr.
This is going to be a 52-yard attempt for Patrick Durkin. It would be a new career long for him. Has already hit 4 times tonight.
He has been perfect so far. Hopefully we don't give him the broadcast curse, right? That's not happening. Not with this kicker.
A good swing of the leg, and it is good. Durkin is automatic for Tulane. 52 yards, a new career high.
What an impressive display of just accuracy from Patrick Durkin. That had the distance to be even further. He's been really, really good, showing you why he is the top kicker in the American Conference. And when you have a weapon like this, we're talking about the top 25 in college football playoffs, sometimes these games come down to 3 points. And I think right now, if you're Tulane, you can safely say that you feel like if it comes down to a field goal win at any point in time, it's on your side.
He's a redshirt freshman, by the way.
Whew. Gotta love those young players making a difference.
Let's take a look at today's Good Hands plays, brought to you by Allstate. It's the redshirt freshman, another one of those young guys. Jamari McClure has been excellent.
He has been outstanding too, really seeing the field well. I've been so impressed with how well he's been using that vision to make the right cuts and the right read every single time. In addition to that, covering the football up, 2 hands on the football in traffic, sometimes that's hard to understand and to always execute on as a young running back, but he's been showing some poise and maturity at the running back position today. He's having a heck of a night.
So interesting how things develop as the season goes on. Javen Gordon has been kind of the guy for the most part in a backfield that's seen a lot of different ball carriers, but McClure last week and this week feels like he's taken the lead.
It also feels like he's just got a bit more to him as far as when the football's in his hand, you're kind of holding your breath. And I think that that's what a lot of offensive coordinators are looking for in young running backs and veteran running backs is who can make a difference with the football in their hand. And Jamari McClure has shown that over the past couple of weeks, so really starting to emerge as the bell cow for this offense in the backfield.
Evan Simon and the Temple offense back out there after a disappointing drive on their last one, and he ducks into Cam Hamilton, who has been playing through a little bit of an injury. They love his development from a maturity and a production standpoint over the last year.
They told us a lot about how he has carried himself over this season in showing up to the weight room, being a leader, being accountable to his teammates, one of those leaders up front for them. If they're going to have a chance to put themselves in position to continue to climb up and stay atop of the American Conference, it's going to start with that defensive line.
Chase on the catch. He has 9 yards to set up 3rd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
Now, one of the things I'm thinking about here, Chucky, is we've talked about the college football playoff and what this game means for Tulane. I know North Texas has their game coming up after ours against Rice, but does Tulane really look like a top 25 team? And I think there are areas of the game, specifically here tonight, where you say that is definitely a top 25 team, but there's also some areas to work on over the next couple of weeks to ensure that they put themselves in the best position.
Simon on 3rd down, incomplete. What stands out most? What can get Tulane to the next level over these next few weeks?
Well, specifically on defense, I think they're going to have to improve in the secondary some, just in ensuring that everyone knows what their assignments are and guys can drop in the right spaces in coverage. I think they need a little bit of assistance there as far as their secondary is concerned. The defensive line is great. The offensive line is great. Jake Resloff, their quarterback, really good. Those are the areas that they can build a foundation on if they can tweak a few things to continue to grow. But they're certainly going to have to figure out this wide receiver room and somebody who can be a consistent deep threat for them, especially after losing Bryce Bohannon. That's probably the biggest area of concern offensively for Tulane moving forward into next week and then into the conference championship. If they can put themselves in position there, is who's going to catch the football and be the deep threat on the outside.
Tulane, Retzloff, and McClure have been excellent. Preston caught the 69-yard touchdown on their first drive, and then Durkin 5 for 5, twice hitting from 50. Incredible season for Patrick Durkin. He has not missed from beyond 40 yards this year.
I love that with automatic. And that is another one of the makings and recipes for a team in the top 25. Because again, a lot of these games come down to win a conference title, win round 1 of the college football playoffs. You're going to need to make field goals and win the kicking game.
1st and 10 inside their own 10-yard line. Hayes in motion. Retzloff throwing and connects this time with Trey Shackelford, who fights off a defender. There's a flag that comes in at the end of the play on the tackle. It's going to go against Temple.
One of the combo routes on the outside was Shackelford,
Personal
Brown
foul,
Stevens.
face mask. Defense number 11. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Got Earl Culp there. A 6-foot redshirt freshman out of Ohio.
That might be it for Retzloff. We'll see. He came to the sideline with Brendan Sullivan entering the game after that throw. Retzloff still has his helmet on over there, but Sullivan will get a chance on this snap at least. 1st and 10 at the 42. Toss play to McClure. Blockers in front. McClure knocked out of bounds just shy of the 50-yard line. 5 minutes and ticking left in this game. I want to go back to what you were talking about, too, with John Sumrall. And look, his name's in everything.
Yeah.
You can't avoid that if you're a player on this team or anyone in the organization. But he said they did a summer speaker series. He'd bring somebody in every week. They'd talk to the team. He said, the last one we did, I got up there and said, I'm talking to you today. And he basically addressed the things that are happening right now. He said, look, if we have success, you're going to start to hear things about what job I should take. You're going to start to hear things yourself about maybe where you should look in the portal. But he said, just do this for me, one game at a time. Don't worry about that stuff until the end of the year, and our business is taken care of.
Well, I have to say, from the player's perspective, that's one of the things you appreciate, is just the honesty of your coach to be honest with his team about where you are, where the development is, also his role and the potential there. So a lot of what he mentioned, and this was in the summer, so this is before the season started, where he came up and spoke to his team and mentioned these things. It's coming to fruition right now because his name is certainly in the conversation. A lot of these players are getting offers and agents talking to them about transferring and NIL and money and all this stuff. So much noise and distraction at this point of the season for the student athletes and for the coaching staff.
3rd and 3. McClure and Gordon in the backfield. They give to Gordon, who spun around for a loss. Alan Hay, haven't said his name much tonight. One of those single digits that is such a special tradition here at Temple. Goes back to 2009. Their former head coach Al Golden started that. It says that those players embody what it means to be Temple tough on and off the field. Alan Hay, a guy who's overcome serious injury and has become a great contributor and leader of this team.
One of the things Casey Keller told us about Alan Hay is that he embodies what they want at this organization, what they want at this university in terms of being a leader and being a great teammate. He's the textbook example of that.
Colin Chase, another single digit, deep to return this punt. It takes a Temple bounce and rolls on its side all the way down to the 6-yard line. And 2:45 left. I think I'm shocked by this result as far as what we've seen from Temple. I think the expectation was that this was going to be a close game.
Well, I mean, when you look at last week against Army, that was a game where they didn't have a whole lot of possessions on offense, but they kept it close. And that's been the story for them all season, is that they've been able to figure out ways to keep it close. I think if you're being realistic about Temple and you look at the past couple of years, they have not had a lot of success. So expecting them to come in and to play extremely well week in and week out, I don't think that's realistic. But I think they can come and compete, which is why, for me, I think the score is one thing. I just haven't seen the effort and the contributions that everyone's been trying to lay it on the line that I was expecting to see out of the Owls players.
At the end of the day, this will be considered a successful season for Temple, a step in the right direction as Giovanni McCoy is in. That is incomplete. Batted down by L.J. Green in the Tulane secondary. But Casey Keeler hasn't been shy about saying, I want a bowl game. That's what would really be the step.
It's really the mark of success for any team, any college football team, is becoming bowl eligible. You want to play postseason, and it just means a lot. And when I look around this Temple team, there's so many seniors on both sides of the football who have been sticking around and contributing and hoping for an opportunity. So they still got that in front of them with another week in the season. I expected them to play a little bit harder here today.
McCoy, nice long throw to the sticks on the sideline. That is completed out wide to Ramir Hardy. That's his first catch of his career. A true freshman, Philadelphia native, and what a moment for him.
Well, it might get Derek
Personal
Shepard
foul,
here, 94.
roughing the passer, defense number 94. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Got him at the end of this play, spinning McCoy down. And that's the making of a true coach there. To grab your football player and to have a moment with him, to educate, to learn, to teach, to mentor. Love seeing that.
And not a light you up embarrassment moment.
Correct.
It's,
just,
yeah.
you know, he could have gone in the opposite direction, which regardless of what side you sit on, it could be merited for some folks. But I just like to see you take advantage of an opportunity to help a guy learn.
It's a good throw by Giovanni McCoy, replacing Evan Simon at quarterback on this last drive. 1st and 10 now. McCoy showing off the athleticism and trips up for a gain of 2.
Now look, you know, in my time, in my career, I have seen coaches really get emotional on one guy, on a group, when folks and things aren't going the way that they are. So it's easy to lean into that as a football coach and to see that. So I think it's harder to have the reverse that we just saw John Sumlaw. So bravo.
Speaking from personal experience?
Timeout on the field.
Maybe a little bit.
2-minute timeout. Tulane up 24.
Still licking my wounds, man.
Kick off your Week 12 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. They'll have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and previews of each game right up to kickoff. Beautiful Philadelphia on a night that Temple fans will not want to remember. Not their best performance, down 24 at the 2-minute timeout in the fourth quarter, as Tulane marches toward their 6th conference win and will be one of 3 one-loss teams remaining. McCoy took another shot in the backfield on the completion that actually loses a yard.
That was Kai Williams who came untouched down the middle and light up McCoy. And that's one thing that can be frustrating for a quarterback being inserted into the game. The game's kind of out of reach right now. You're just trying to learn, get some productivity, get some game reps. The last thing you want to be doing is getting lit up.
3rd and 9 now for McCoy, the redshirt senior from Baldwin Hills, California. Hitting Ryder Cush, true freshman tight end from White Rock, British Columbia. There's only one tight end on their depth chart that is from the United States. I don't know how Jake Wood snuck in there.
What is Jake doing? He's the odd guy out, being from Santa Rosa, California.
One from Canada, one from England, and one from Germany. And then the Cali kid.
That's a fun group. I mentioned this last time because this is the second week in a row we've had a German player. Listen to this. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You just counted
in German.
Okay.
I'm just saying, man. I'm here all week, guys.
You could have said anything and told me that's what it was, and I would have believed you. Incomplete on the 4th down try, and Tulane is going to be able to sit on this football and improve to 9-2. We said it off the top, Darius. The one thing we know about all the situations that were in play coming into this week in the American, we were told if Tulane wins out and they remain the top-ranked team in the college football playoff in this conference, they will host the American Championship. They are one step closer to that.
And it's just a testament to John Summerall and his staff with coming out with a really good game plan. I think tonight, though, they got a couple of questions answered. One of the questions coming into tonight, who's going to be our bell cow at running back? I think that has been solidified. And Jamari McClure. McClure's going to be the guy moving forward. They got that piece. We know the offensive line is terrific. If they can just figure out who's going to be the deep threat at the wide receiver position for them, they have the makings. And you add in the ability to make field goals and to put themselves in position in the kicking game, they're going to have the ability to really compete and possibly win a conference championship.
That's going to do it. Tulane 37-13 over Temple. All that stands between the Green Wave and a very good chance to host the American Championship is a home game next week against the last place team in the conference, Charlotte.
Well, you like the odds there, but I think one of the things we know about John Summerall, even when he was asked about his team, he mentioned how average they've been playing. I think he'll have a similar message going into next week because he understands that he needs to keep this team motivated to continue to put themselves in position to compete for a conference title. But one more step for Tulane to continue on this wild ride.
An incredible run they've been on over the last 4 years. Entering this season, it was their best 3-year stretch since the Great Depression, and they have built on that even further with a 9-2 record. We will step away. We'll come back and see if waiting to see if we can get Coach Sumrall here before we step away. Don't forget North Texas Rice coming up next. Big one for the Mean Green and Eric Morris, led by Drew Mestamaker, who's thrown for 3,000 yards this season. That's one you don't want to miss against a very unique style for Rice.
Yeah, a lot of credit to Scott Abel, the head coach of Rice. Spent all that time at Davidson. He has turned that program around in Texas.
Senior day, not how Casey Keeler had envisioned it. They will have one more chance to become bowl eligible against North Texas in Denton. Have to imagine that's going to be a great atmosphere. Well, let's step away for a moment. We'll come back to see if we can talk to John Sumrall, the head coach of Tulane. North Texas, that's coming up next. We'll be right back in Philly. Tulane wins at 37-13 here in Philadelphia. They outgained Temple 406 to 167 in the total yards department. The American scoreboard looks like this. Tulsa gets a nice win over Army, a team that beat Temple a couple weeks ago. South Florida with a dominating win over UAB. The Bulls were, of course, the favorite after the first 4 weeks in this conference to kind of run away from it. The biggest surprise, UTSA 58-24 over East Carolina, a team that came in as one of the four with one loss.
And I think the message about East Carolina really was that this team is much better than folks thought they were. So for UTSA to perform the way they did, just kudos to them on a massive win here today. As we look at the top six here in the American, three teams with one loss, a couple teams with two losses, and then Memphis still trying to fight themselves back into this. They will need some assistance to get back up there.
A lot of scenarios still in play in the American Conference. Tulane in a fantastic position. For Stas Hall, Anthony Giassi, Darius Walker, I'm Chucky Kemp. Thanks for joining us, everybody. So long from Philadelphia.